What is going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys had a good week so far. So much has happened in the last couple of days. We lost 22 bowling balls. It's insane. But more importantly, this is the most chatter we've had before the stream in just general. Like, you guys were having a heyday at the tailgate before this. I love it. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope the hot dogs and burgers were really good. Yeah, I hope like Dave said, hope someone brought the French onion dip. If not, make sure to bring that for next week. Hope you guys are doing well, though. Hopefully everything has been good. If you guys were here on Monday, welcome back after a couple days. If you weren't able to make it Monday, welcome back. If you are new, make sure to note, I added a really cool widget, and I'm very proud of it. It has all of our sponsors up there and partners, so make sure you go check some of them out so we don't have to always be flying through and only have a handful up, or it doesn't make the screen look like I'm a NASCAR driver or anything crazy. But we have everything going on. I hope you guys have had a good few days. For a little bit of stuff on my end, I bowled a tournament this weekend, ended up taking fourth. It was a 10 games. Cut to top 12 more games, and then I made the step ladder, lost in the third and fourth place match. I was a 3 seed, and I lost my first match to take fourth. Left a 7 pin in the second shot and the 10th to lose. Very, very sad. If you want to see a little bit more about that, make sure to go back and check out our stream from Monday. That is over on YouTube. Remember, we are live on a billion different platforms right now. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. We are live on TikTok. So if you don't enjoy what kind of resolution you're watching on, make sure to flip it to another one. Otherwise, these streams, if you are watching later or you're watching right now and you're not able to see all of it, are always posted on YouTube. But let's see what's going on. Chris, what's going on? You a hockey fan? I am not. I am the only guy in the state of Minnesota who's not a hockey fan. I grew up in an area that was 100% basketball in the winter, so zero hockey blood runs through my veins. Absolutely zero. Hockey just ain't there at all. Who was first chatter of the day? Was it Johnny? Johnny ended up being first chatter of the day. Proud member of the Patreon, by the way. We do have a Patreon now where we offer Arsenal reviews for a tier. As a tier, we offer coaching. We offer just early looks into Arsenal guides and charts and graphs and all the fun stuff, and inside looks about various bowling things that are going on. I gave a little preview of the Rocket AI out there. I gave a preview of all the bowling balls that I threw this weekend. A lot of fun things. But let's see what's all going on. I think I can switch to my other one. Yeah, I should be able to look here. Bowling Bad 2, what is going on? Did Joe missing the stealth mode? Yeah, the big news of the day, 22 bowling balls were discontinued. 17 of those, unfortunately, were reactive. The other 5 were rhinos and raws. But we lost 17 high reactive bowling balls and 5 others, 22 in total. Absolutely crazy. Mason over on TikTok, what is going on, man? Great to see you. Andrew, I got to bowl on the newest Quebec AMF scoring with working magic triangles. Interesting. Ralphie, what's going on? Should have waited for the Paragon Shadow on sale. Yeah, I would assume most of these bowling balls are going to go on super sale, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. Aaron, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. I saw my first 300 game in person last week. That is super cool. Nice. That's always fun to see somebody shoot 300. It's always a good time. It's one of those situations where like everybody's on the same team. Everybody wants them to shoot 300 when they get to that 10th, 11th shot. So that's always really cool to see. Don, so many discontinued bowling balls. Dude, they did a squad wipe completely. They saw their medium and smooth category. They're like, nah, we don't need that anymore. Let's get rid of all of them and then just stack our asymmetrical lineup. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. Continue throughout the year. What are you looking forward most personally within the bowling industry professionally and just generally speaking? What are you looking forward to the most within the bowling industry? So I have a lot of really cool events coming up, which I think is going to be really fun for bowling, and I'm excited to bring those to you guys. So Junior Gold is coming up very, very soon. The World Series of Bowling, I've actually talked to some people, and I will be attending that for quite a while. That is at the end of April, early May. I'm going to Springfield with Luke Rosdahl in about a month and a half. I have to finalize my booking there. I'm just realizing a lot of really cool things coming in the bowling world that I'll be able to get you guys news on. So that's what I'm most excited about. Mills, with so many B6 balls being DC'd, there's got to be a ton of new ones coming out. Yeah. So something that happens every year in bowling is around this March, April, May time, you see every company wipe a bunch of their old bowling balls to prep for Bowl Expo. Bowl Expo is always the time that's late June, early July. That is the time where the companies come out with like their new creations a lot of the time. So for example, last year, we had Brunswick drop 10 bowling balls all at the same time last year in like early June. They had 2 separate release windows. They had 6 balls and then they had 4 get released, and they just dropped a ton of different things out the door. Storm at that time, they released the second Identity was a day one, like a Bowl Expo release. Of course, that did not go well for them, but otherwise they also had the Cove and the Ember get announced on the same day, which were really cool at the time. It was 2 new global balls, so that was really sweet. I don't remember what Motive did. They did have their Jackal EJ that just went live. I don't remember what their other ball was at the time, but usually August is a really big month for bowling ball releases because everyone announces stuff at Bowl Expo or in that early July range, and then they'll allow like a month for people to throw the new equipment at a ton of different expos, a ton of different conventions that are going on. Like for example, Junior Gold every year, there's a mega demo. Every brand is there. You can try any ball, any of the new balls from any of the brands to see if you like them or not. Now, I'm wondering if TikTok might not actually like this link guy. I'm going to close that. We're going to see what happens. JC, why didn't you challenge Lewis to a match? So yeah, I was in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Why didn't I challenge Lewis? I didn't have any bowling equipment. I didn't go to Vegas for bowling. I went for just a celebration of my fiance and I's birthdays, and we went to a concert and just didn't do bowling things. But I was messaging Lewis, and he ended up being at South Point on the last day that I was there, so I went to go say hi. So we didn't do any matches or anything. He had to get going too. But yeah, in the future, we will be planning something that we're going to do together. There'll be something that happens. Grumpa, for lanes that aren't often flooded, usually drier, but still limited friction. What's a good arsenal? 42 feet, 12 to 1, 25 mils with plenty of carry down. Lanes that aren't flooded, usually drier, but limited friction, especially as a lefty. You're going to like the medium-ish stuff. Those middle symmetrical balls, asymmetrical balls probably just aren't going to be a good idea, is my guess. Gary Rice, what's going on? Chris, all my Minnesota friends love hockey. Yeah, I'm one of the only ones. I am one of the only ones who doesn't actually like hockey in this state. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of wild. I wonder if my YouTube stuff is working. I tried a different kind of oh, I wonder if it's not. Oh no, it's up. I tried a different kind of title, so I'm kind of curious to see how many people jump in and how many people don't. So we'll see how that goes. Jim Schuster over on Facebook. What's going on, man? I just changed my hand fit to be a little bit stretched out. Now I'm dropping the ball. Yeah, that makes sense. The hard thing with the span, like you always have to be testing it to see what feels best. But when you expand it, it's going to make the ball feel heavier and it's going to make it feel like you're dropping it because it's going to be different. So I'd recommend trying it a little bit longer, see if you can get used to it, because any kind of span change is going to be hard to get used to. But if it still feels bad after a couple of attempts, I'd recommend shortening it back. Sagan, what do you think of the Columbia 300 Piranha? I don't know, because it got discontinued in less than 2 months. So not many people had it. Just like every other Columbia ball, nobody really threw it in my area, so I barely saw the thing. I rarely saw the Piranha being thrown, and Street Rally and Pulse even. I saw the Pulse thrown twice ever. It's just Columbia is not a very popular brand, which is why it got booted. But overall, the Piranha is a middle of the road symmetrical solid. It's going to be a little bit smoother than a lot of other bowling balls in that realm. Because it's going to be really hard to find a Piranha, I don't recommend it. What I'm noticing already is that all of the Columbia 300 equipment is being bought up. Like it's not going to go on sale. People love well, I shouldn't say that. That's a mean way to say it. People love when a place is going out of business to buy the stuff, to be able to support when they're gone. And that's what people are doing here, because they love the old Columbia stuff. It's been in bowling for so long. So many people are like, man, I want to have a Columbia ball just to stash away. So they're seeing every single Columbia ball is being sold out so quickly now that they got discontinued. So it's going to be really hard to find a Piranha. I'd recommend a Game Breaker 5 instead. Might be a little better for you. Might be a little better. Let's see. Chris, I'm from Virginia, and the Caps fell out of playoff contention. Ah, that is unfortunate. Ooh, is this my note if I'm bowling league? I don't know. We'll see. Don, I like hockey. I would rather play than watch, but I go to games. Oh, that's good at least. Braxton, when are you making your next rating viewer Arsenal video? So I am not doing that video series anymore. The Arsenal rating videos just take way too much time. There isn't enough payoff for them, and I wouldn't be able to get through everybody. So the Arsenal rating series is gone. I'm making an automated tool right now that helps you figure out exactly where each bowling ball fits into our 6-ball categorization scale, so you can then figure out what's going to be best. What I did instead is I have a more in-depth guide on my Patreon that I'm opening up, just so I don't, because in the old way I had 1,400 arsenals, and there was a lot of people who were just posting like 7, 8, 9, 10 arsenals at a time, which was just like piles of 40 plus, which is not an actual, it's not worth my time to be able to have to go through 40 bowling balls when that person only throws 7 of them. So there's a lot of reasons I ended up dropping that series. But this automated tool should be able to help you out. And then for the people who really want that more in-depth look, can jump over to the Patreon and check it out. So that series was very tough to keep going. And even when I'm full-time, I don't have enough time to run it. It's just too much stuff going on. But let's talk about the big thing of the hour. We have a lot of comments to get through yet, and I'll keep going through those. But for everybody who wants to join us for the main title of these live streams, we have 22 bowling balls that Brunswick discontinued. So they announced 4 of them last week. They get released tomorrow, but 22 were discontinued. Now, a lot of them were meh. Like, there weren't any slammers in your face, good bowling balls, right? Like in the last one, the Theorem Hybrid, which was around for so long, got discontinued. This time, there really isn't that. There's a lot of really good bowling balls, but none that were really good and really popular. So the big ones that I saw, Stealth Mode Solid is going to be the #1 ball, and the Theorem Solid. Those are the 2 that you want to look out for. Those 2 bowling balls are really good. I consider those the best medium solid bowling balls that Brunswick had. I, by far and away, thought those were the best options from them. Yeah, very disappointing to see them go. They've been on sale for a little bit. Theorem Solid, especially if you bowl on a house shot, that's a really good house shot ball. Other ones, the Pulse is going to be impossible to get. That was a really good ball. The Combat, absolute dominator of a bowling ball that nobody cared about because it was a brand new nameplate, and it just got released at a bad time in August, and people didn't buy many bowling balls this last August for some reason. Sales were way down for some reason. So those are really the big ones you want to look out for. There were like 13 others, like I said, the entire Columbia lineup, the Severe Collision, the Ebonite Entity. A lot of people didn't realize the Ebonite Entity was still around. I gotta go ban this person on Twitch. Let's do a quick little ban. Get out of here. There we go. They were trying to sell views, but it was insane that there were 22 that were all gone at the same time. So expect, there were already new Rhino colorways that got released. I'd expect some new raw bowling balls coming out soon. I'd expect some new hustles being released soon. So no worries on that side, on the low end side. But right now, Brunswick has an issue where their entire benchmark lineup is gone. So I'll be curious what they add in. It's probably going to be something new that they're going to put in that spot, but more to come. Adam loved the Paragon Shadow. Paragon Shadow is an incredible bowling ball. The pros actually throw it quite a bit. I see Tom Doherty throwing it all the time, but it didn't get any love, which is kind of surprising. Some of those old nameplates aren't doing great for them. Paragon line, Guru line, things like that. Like the Guru is already $100 in most places. It got like the price of it just did that. It retailed at $190, and they're like, nah, no one's buying it at that price anymore. So that super dropped. Paragon was at like $150 before it got discontinued. I don't know if it's decreased since. Hey, Jerry Mars, what's going on, man? Good to see you. And Cam, thank you for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's very odd. Remember, when a bowling ball gets discontinued, the reason is because sales are low. They don't do it in preparation of other bowling balls. They do it solely because the sales of that ball are just too low to warrant having in the lineup. What a lot of people have found out in bowling is a ball sells best within the first 2 months. After those first 2 months of release, ball sales do that. And then Brunswick has been getting rid of stuff a little bit quicker than the other brands and just refreshing their lineup more and more. Is that a bad thing? Is it a good thing? It's really up to the person. But it does help them boost their sales, make a little bit more money, because a lot of people don't want to buy the year-old bowling ball. They'd rather buy the one that came out last week. So that is why balls get discontinued. There is no like behind the scenes, super secret conspiracy theory, Illuminati thing going on of like, if we get rid of these bowling balls while they're still selling, we can put out more of them and they're going to buy more. No, it's just because sales get low. It's like with every other industry. Hey, Victor Cortez, what's going on, man? Happy League night for you. If League is still going on. I realize a lot of people are already done with League for the season. Mine is another like 2 weeks. Ours never ends. They actually put in something this year to make sure they put in a rule saying we will not go into May, because previous years we're bowling into the beginning of May. It's insane. I hate long league seasons. I absolutely despise the 36-week league season. I would love like 24. Give me that and we're home free. 2 weeks left for you, Jerry. Victor gets a break for a bit. Ours was done when I went to the Masters. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I would like smaller, shorter league seasons instead of the massive one. It just gets to be too much. So I'm not a big fan of that. Insert name, been grinding, learning two-handed, 160 average, tried one-handed with a house ball and averaged 180. Feeling really discouraged. Should I switch styles? If it was just one game, no. Like, I mean, when I was with Maribeth Baker last February when I was visiting her, we did a lefty match and I shot 210 lefty. So it was a good game, but I'm never going to switch to left-handed. One game shouldn't really tell you if you should switch or not. If it feels better and you do it for a while, then yes, I'd recommend trying it out if it just overall feels a lot better. But I wouldn't give up what you're doing off of one game. So I would wait a little bit. I would wait just a little bit longer. Ed, what's going on? I bought the GB5 when it came out in March of 24. Lots of games and resurfaced 3 times. Should I invest in a new one? 2 years old, a lot of games. I would recommend it. You're going to be kind of like blown back at how big the shift is. When you buy your like a ball and you throw it for 2 years straight, that ball is going to be so smooth and late at this point because of how much oil is absorbed that when you buy the new one, you're just going to be shocked at how much it hooked. I did that with a hammer ball, an Effect Tour. So I got one right when it released back in like November of 24. I loved it, threw it all over the place, brought it with to every tournament, and I noticed now it was finally dying out like 2 months ago. I had an extra one stored, stashed away, so I finally drilled that one. I compared them. There was a 10 board difference. Like, it was night and day how different it was. The new one went through the pins so much better. It hooked earlier. It looked more like how I thought an Effect Tour should look. I recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. Let's see, Roy Lee, League night tonight, gonna throw the axe. Don't throw the axe, man. You're just hurting your own scores. David, I'm pretty sure mine ends in 3 weeks. Wow. French Fry, what's going on? Got a few more weeks left of League, but I start a summer Get Your Gear League. Yeah, all the Get Your Gear Leagues are starting up. Actually, last night we had a junior adult league, an adult youth league that started up at our bowling alley, which was really cool. 8 weeks, and it's just you need one adult, one youth to bowl. It's awesome. Mike, have you bowled Reno yet? I have not. I bowl in the beginning of May. I bowl May 5th and 6th. So I have a couple more weeks. I'll probably start prepping an arsenal probably at the end of April is my guess. I still have a lot of tournaments to do. I have a year-end tournament this weekend. The next weekend, I have my state bowling tournament, and then I have my wedding shower, and then right after that, we leave for Reno. So probably right after state is when I'll start looking at what I should bring to nationals and get surfaces ready and all that jazz. But I don't think too hard about it. Like, I already kind of have an idea. Nationals plays about how it does every year. Play straight on both, doubles, singles, a little more of a flood, a little longer of a pattern. So I'll just bring a lot of smoother equipment like I usually do, and we're good to go. David, it makes sense to bring out new releases right before the fall and winter league. Yeah, that's usually when a lot of these companies see those big wins, is when you have the fall league starting, you release a bunch of stuff in August, because middle to late of August or that first week of league, that's when you have the biggest influx of people who come in, usually the casual league bowlers who need that new bowling ball. That's what really when they when people are buying stuff. So then here's all the new bright and shiny stuff, and then that's when those get purchased. But like for tournament guys, right now / the last month or two has been the prime time. That's been the biggest time for them. RJ, not sure if I should get a Rocket AI, Sapphire Ice, Next Factor, Venom Hysteria, Stealth Mode Hybrid. Needed for long oil pattern, mainly, and house on transition. Oh, Stealth Mode Hybrid then. The rest of them are way too weak. The rest of them that you got are weaker bowling balls, except for that Stealth Mode Hybrid. Todd, I'm in our league championship tomorrow. Any tips? Treat it like a regular night of league. Play cards, do whatever you guys do for your regular league nights. Don't think too much about it. It's just another night of league. And if you think too much of it, you're going to do worse. So treat it like another night of league. Charmaine, how is the new Storm Monsoon bowling ball? It's pretty good from what a lot of people are saying. Now, the Rocket is going to get more hype because Belmo Ball and Skid Snap and higher price point. So you're going to see a lot more Rocket out there than the Monsoon. There haven't been as many Monsoon ball reviews because ball reviews come out with whatever's going to get the highest view total. So like a Storm bowling ball or a Rocket, for example, is going to get more views than a Monsoon. So you're going to see people release the Monsoon or the Rocket videos before the Monsoon. But overall, the Monsoon looks really good. I think that's a very usable piece for a lot of people, especially the higher rev rate crowd or the rev dominant crowd. You guys are really going to like that Monsoon. That's going to be a ball that's really good for you. It is a middle of the road, weak and smooth bowling ball, which is going to be great for a lot of you. Down by the river, the GB5 Pearl is gone. It is not gone. The GB5 Pearl is still in production. It's on sale, but it's still in production. Don't worry about that. JR, what's going on? People have been stashing away the Pulse hybrids. Oh, yeah, those are pricey right now. D-Settle. Ooh, this is a good question. What do speed bumps and oil patterns do? I'm headed to the Greater Ozarks. It looks like the team event has a speed bump about 35 feet. So the main thing with speed bumps is trying to... One of the main goals of them originally was to get rid of urethane, was an attempt at blocking out urethane because urethane was dominating everything for so long. So speed bumps were created to try to cause it where the urethane picks up early, it hits that downlane oil in the speed bump, and then it kind of pukes out and rolls forward. It didn't really do a whole lot. It did stop them a little bit, but people still crushed it with purple hammers and all that everywhere, so it didn't do a whole lot. But yeah, the best way to stop it is just using a stronger ball that can combat that oil down lane. Usually that speed bump is gonna make the difference between like a dull and a shiny ball a little more pronounced. So it tries to make the pattern a little bit harder where your ball starts hooking, hits oil, and then kind of does weird things. But stronger bowling balls are a good way to block that. E. Pritch just wanted to say, I love your channel and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. And you got your first 300 using the Pulse. Congratulations, man. That is awesome. Practice or not, it still counts. That's incredible. Mr. Phil through a 289. Oh, congratulations. That is awesome. Resident Evil, did you see the Rotogrip Megastar and the Pitch Black 78U? Yeah, they're overseas bowling balls. They are not stateside. So I got to make a video at some point of like how to determine if a ball is overseas or not. A lot of people have been confused lately of, is this ball, you missed this bowling ball announcement. And I don't miss bowling ball announcements. What they are overseas bowling balls. So they're released in anywhere overseas outside of the US, but they aren't actually released here. So the Megastar, any Attention Star variants are going to be overseas. The Pitch Black 78U is overseas. A lot of bowling balls that, not the edges. What was the one? Ooh, there was a massive core one. Was it the Gateways or the Gates, I think? Those are overseas. Like, there's a lot. Don, what's going on? Really, you just have to check, like, has Storm announced it? If they have, well, then it's stateside. If they haven't, it's overseas. Emerald, I pulled the trigger on getting a ball spinner. Any online references with guides on how to get balls back to their original surface? Yes. Every company has a guide on how to get your ball back to that original spot. So I know Storm has it on their website. Brunswick generally has it somewhere on their websites. Their websites have been a little bit tougher lately. I know they did finally release an actual layout guide. The previous ones Brunswick had weight holes yet. So Brunswick finally got around to it, finally got those layouts out there, which is awesome. But I don't know where you can find how to get it back to factory. Luckily, Brunswick, when they post like, this is the surface it's at, it'll be like 500, 1,000, 2,000. You just follow those steps and you're good to go. Mackle, what's going on? Do you recommend me getting a Black Widow Mania pinned down if I have a Viking? I wouldn't go pin down with an asymmetrical Pearl very often unless you want to play pretty straight with it. I would recommend a little bit more angle, so I'd recommend pin up. Scrimblow, what's going on? Just got done cleaning my bowling balls. Nice. Michael, love my Widow V1. Also have a track Cypher Pearl. What would you add? Probably something a little more dull. I found that Black Widow tour shines up pretty quick, so I think something on the solid side would be pretty good for you. Something dull. Symmetrical or asymmetrical is really whatever fits with you best. All right, let's check out TikTok quick. Brooke, my league is never ending. 12-week segments with a 2-week tournament at the end, then you start again. Wow. Oh, and it's a junior gold league, so only bowl on tough patterns. Wow. That's a lot. Young Dagger, what is the best benchmark ball outside of the Storm umbrella? The closest thing to a phase 2, stealth mode solid, game breaker 5 solid as well. One of those two. Boss man, what do you think of my arsenal? Physics, phase 2 Pearl, and a bionic? It's looking good right now. I like it. It's a little bit stronger, but that's a-okay. Thanks for liking my video. Absolutely. Jim just bought the hammer full effect. Yeah, it's a strong ball, but also super angular down lane. The big thing I've noticed with the HK22C squared bowling balls, you got to get some games in them. The ball is going to be very different for those first couple games compared to the rest of its life cycle. Like for me, the Ebonite Spartan, that thing hooked way too early to ever be usable for like 3 to 5 games. Once those 3 to 5 games were up and I changed the surface, good to go. Then we're in a really good spot. But before that, nothing. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It just hooked way too early. So be ready for that with your HK22C squared stuff. Mr. Phil, Max Little Hybrid was money. Love that. Love that. I hardly ever buy new bowling balls anymore. It's totally fair. I don't blame anybody for trying to get deals on bowling balls because they're always on sale. Like, Brunswick stuff for sure is always on sale. Older Storm stuff. The Origin EX right now you can get for cheap. You can make some really good decisions and get some really good balls for very, very cheap if you just wait for the FOMO to kind of go away. Oh, X in the Pit made a discontinued video. Really? Did they now? Good for them. Those guys don't show up in my feed anymore. I don't know why. I don't see anything they do. Deep dive into the ones to buy. Oh boy, 16-minute video. Did he do it vertically? Are you kidding me, guys? Oh, man. Yeah, he did it vertically. Don't do that, guys. If you're a content creator and you're posting on YouTube, don't post vertically unless it's a short. And if you're on TikTok and all those, make sure it's vertical. The algorithms completely shun your video. Like they posted one, it got 80 views. So yeah, make sure if you're a content creator, post it the right direction. That helps out a lot. So if anybody wants to comment out the X in the Pit, guys, make sure that they post in the right way. That'll help get their views up if that's what they're going for. I'd be curious what they said were the good ones. I swear, if they have the Ricochet return on there, I'm hunting them down. That ball is so bad. I've had so many both non-Brunswick and Brunswick guys come to me like, this is probably the worst ball we've ever made. That ball was not good. The cover stock on that thing was so bad for the core. That was crazy. At least the thumbnail is an AI. That's true. That's true. There are a lot of those going around right now. Kai, can't wait to throw this sanded plastic. Why? There's no reason. Aaron, you threw left-handed. Yeah, I shot 210. One random game with a house shot. It was great. Eric, can the danger zone complement the alert? Are both balls okay to take to nationals? I would not bring something as weak as a danger zone to nationals. I don't think that's going to be good. Remember, nationals is your goal is smooth and slow equipment. So anything slow and smooth, that's going to be your best friend out at nationals. The danger zone is very quick. Probably not worth it. Like I was talking to one guy who went, he said he never would have touched his alert. Most guys, like a lefty I know, said, yeah, the alert was never touched. It's way too angular. So that's the one issue with that bowling ball that I've noticed. It's a very quick ball down lane. Don throwing my new full effect Entity Pearl, New Blue, and Bubblegum. Nice. What are my favorite strong and sharp bowling balls? Ooh. Favorite ones right now. Viking is still really good. Trying to think. Let me look at the list. There's a lot out there yet. Let me look up what is on the ZVL website. I would say the Energize is still really good. The One Ovation is a good ball. The Outer Limits Black Hole is still good. Full Effect is really, really good. Evoke Hysteria and the Viking. And I mean, low key, the Ion Max Pearl is looking really good for a lot of people. It's very strong, but that ball is being thrown a lot right now. Every single sport shot I go to, someone is throwing an Ion Max Pearl and making it look really, really good. So that ball's been looking great. Ball's been looking really good. Let's see. Warren, going to a 14-pound ball from 15. Should I keep the same layouts? I would check the cores. Check the core differences on your bowling balls and see if they are very different or not. If they're not that different, go with the same layouts. Did Joe CTD put out a video saying to avoid heat cleaning? Any thoughts? Yes. Hickland is 100% correct on that. I have not done the scientific, the testing that he has, but yes, detoxing has generally been known to be not good for bowling balls. There is a reason that everybody says detoxing is the last ditch effort for bowling balls because it's a very, very high risk medium reward situation. So when you heat up a bowling ball enough, generally the plasticizers come out of it a bit, especially when you get it to those extreme heats. That's why a lot of ovens are set at like 140 degrees at a maximum. But whenever you get above a decent amount, that's when the ball starts it seems like it's extracting oil, but it's also the plasticizers. It gets a little bit bad. So I personally would never recommend detoxing unless your ball is really, really dead. Like for me, if my ball is completely gone, that's when I try detoxing it. It usually gives me another 5-ish games. After those 5 games, I need to detox it again. So if you are someone who is a hardcore detoxer or hardcore water bath or whatever it may be, it usually only gives you a couple of games and then you have to do it again. So it's a process then you have to keep up with all the time. And if you don't have your own oven, it gets to be very expensive. I know for us, I think we charge like 20 bucks for a detox. So if your pro shops charge that, it gets to be a very expensive thing. Bowling balls do have a life cycle. You can try your best to keep resuscitating them, but usually it's just best once they really are kaput, just grabbing a new one. That is an unfortunate piece of bowling, but it does happen. Faux bowling, last pattern on Cheetah for tomorrow. Concept, Purple Hammer, Arctic Vibe. I would start Concept and Purple Hammer, see which one looks better. The further you can play near the gutter, the better. French Fry, isn't there a detoxing machine that is not heat but uses ultrasonic? I have never heard of that guy. If you guys have heard of that one, let me know. I'm kind of curious. Let's see. Grumpa, interest in the combat, ethos, hammerhead, anger, paragon theorem, solid, stealth, and raw black solid. I would recommend against the raw and the ethos. Especially, I think the ethos is not a great ball, and the raw, there's going to be new ones, so it doesn't matter. They'll just wait for those. B. Dean, which balls would you recommend for a slightly speed-dominant lefty in a league with light to try lanes? Medium smooth. Medium smooth is going to be your friend. 3 more weeks left for you, Justin. Phil Cardinal's league in Texas goes 47 weeks. That's so gross. That is painful. I mean, although I shouldn't say much, the senior league that we have in town basically runs 52 weeks of the year. It's probably about 50 weeks out of the year that thing runs. So it probably depends on the league. But yeah, that one just never quits. It never really has a start or a finish. It's just every week you show up and you bowl and they keep your average. Unsanctioned. It's really nice. It's a great league, but it never ends. It's crazy. Notorious, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Old Tristero, going to be sad when the new Theorem Hybrid ends up in the strong and smooth category instead of medium sharp. What a great ball that was. Yeah, I bet we'll get some remakes of the Theorem in like 2 years, usually. Usually they give it about a year or two after the ball is gone to make a remake of it. We saw that with the Idols. We saw it with, what are some other balls? Game Breakers, it happens every year. The Stealth series, we saw it after a couple of years. So it'll come back. It did so well for them that they have to, and the core is so good. But I would wait. You'll have to wait a little bit. Kai, I'm curious to see what replaces the hammerhead in stealth mode. Me too. Honestly, I'm really excited for that. My favorite bowling ball is the medium and smooth category. That is my favorite spot in the bag. I usually carry 2 to 3 bowling balls in that slot with me at all times. Like right now, I have the Effect Tour, I have the Phase 2, I have the Optimum Idol, I have the Shiny Rockstar. Like I have a lot of bowling balls in that camp, Gremlin Tour now, that I like, but Randy, you good? You just keep saying Rufus. I really like that category, so I'm excited to see what Brunswick comes out with, because the stealth mode was really good. The hammerhead was good for a lot of people, but I'll be curious what the new one is. Grumpa played the 2 seed, didn't try to win, but won all 3. We're in 4th, only positional left Friday. That's okay, that happens. Tristero, do you think the Raptor Rain is a good 1-ball to pair with a Nebula? Yes, absolutely I do, 100%. 100% I do. JR, overseas does not include Canada. I get that question asked a lot. Yes, for overseas, it's generally, like actually literally over the seas for that one, not just non-domestic. So Canada does not count in there. There's very rare situations that like a ball is available in Canada. One of the examples I remember was the old Sky Raptor from Motive. That got released in Canada and it wasn't released stateside for a while. So a lot of Motive fans picked it up through that. But otherwise, yeah, usually it's like Korea, Japan, a lot of Malaysia. You can get a lot of those balls from literally over the seas. And Joe, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Really appreciate it. Remember, if you become a YouTube member, you get a lot of videos a little bit early, except for today's because that was a very breaking news story. Those ones don't come, like you don't get those early, but a lot of others you do. What's the next Brunswick brand on the chopping block? We won't get one. I had somebody ask that when I posted that Columbia is officially gone. They asked like, all right, is Track next? Is Deviate next? I don't think any. I think it'll be a couple of years. What's going to happen is they got rid of Columbia. We're going to see if they release more bowling balls from the other brands or if they just have less bowling balls that come out. They weren't releasing that many Columbia balls. It was maybe 6 a year, 5 to 6 a year. But now without those, they're probably going to see how are the brands doing once all those Columbia fans move elsewhere, however many there were, and then see if it's a win or a loss to get rid of more. I doubt they get rid of more anytime soon. So I wouldn't hold your breath. My like very unexpert opinion was guessing like 2028 would probably be the next time that we could see that happen. I don't think 2026 or 2027 anymore we'll see it happen. But now we know a good tell is if they actually sanction it for the PBA Tour. If they don't sanction a brand for the PBA Tour, it might be the last time we see it. Celtic, I have a second Sunstorm. Oh, should I drill it the same as the one I shot my 300 with? That ball was very hated by everybody. I would recommend the same. If you really like the last one and you want to replace it, if you don't want to replace it, I wouldn't put the same layout on it. I'd try something a little different. Aaron, I think Lewis did a video a while back on how to combat urethane with a strong asymmetrical solid. Is that correct? If I or somebody would be throwing a pitch black. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, stronger equipment is generally better. So remember, when a urethane is thrown, what it does is it lengthens the pattern. So if your pattern is 42 feet and somebody's throwing urethane or a lot of guys are throwing urethane, it just makes the pattern 43 feet, 44 feet, 45 feet. It makes it play longer is what it does because it's just pushing oil down lane. So remember that because the pattern's longer, the best thing to use on longer patterns, stronger equipment. So that's why stronger equipment is generally better when urethane is being thrown. And also you should have your break point a little bit to the right, if you're a righty, a little bit to the right, or generally a little bit outside of where that urethane is being thrown. You can use the urethane as a hold spot if that person is fairly consistent. If they're spray painting the ball and it's going all over the place, a little bit harder to use it, but that is a good way to do it. Nice tip, great insight. Thank you, TJ. Yeah, something good to do. That's what happens a lot. If there's urethane being thrown, the best thing is to use it and not try to bowl through it. Bowling through the urethane carry down is very hard. It's inconsistent. It's gross. It's very tough to do. But stronger bowling balls are the best. Sole Antonio, got anything on the Hammer Spawn? No. Sorry, man. Never heard of that ball. Never heard of that thing. Bowling bad, you have the same issue with your tour. It shines up quick. Yeah, I've thrown maybe 2 games on mine, and it's already at like 4,000 plus grit. Notorious, I did not see your... Oh, there it is, your comments. Yeah, I got to catch up on TikTok. Give me just a second. Don't spam, though, man. I'll be getting back to that. I have a lot of comments to go through, so going through them little by little. Grump, I made a better true cut system for me. 500 to 2,000 grit times 2 passes, 3,000 grit by 3, 4,000 grit by 4. Yeah, no, if you are willing to spend more time resurfacing stuff, you can get stuff exactly where you need it. The big thing to remember is if your pad is 2,000 grit and it's used quite a bit, it's not 2,000 grit anymore. After you use it even one time, it gets more and more smooth until it, like I know at our pro shop, some of our 2,000 pads are probably like 3,000 to 4,000 at this point because they're so used. So be aware of that when you're using, when you're trying to resurface a ball. All right, let's see. We hit that. Insert name. Are limited edition balls like the EJ balls worth buying? No. Sorry, that was mean and a little blunt. No, I am not a fan of the FOMO limited edition releases. I understand why they do them. I understand they're a huge moneymaker. They're cool, but it's very hard because you have to pre-order a ball that you haven't seen a single thing on. I am already against pre-ordering bowling balls. I don't think anybody should buy a ball until after we see a lot of videos and after the public has tried it. I think that's the best time to buy it is after a couple of weeks. Like the Brunswick Alert, it looked really good in reviews. Once the public started seeing it a little more after a couple of weeks, everybody loved it, and that's when the time was to buy an Alert. Couple of these other bowling balls that have come out recently, like if I look at the list right now, we'll look at the Storm list quick. I poke at Brunswick on this one a little too much because they have so many bowling balls get announced, but let's grab a Storm one. The Next Factor actually is a great one. The Next Factor was the next best thing. That was seen, all the reviews saw it as incredible, amazing, you need to buy this ball. Nobody bought it. It's a great ball, but nobody cared for it anymore, and it was just kind of disappeared. So pre-ordering that one, you would have gotten it for $200, and it was a good ball, but now in April, it's $130. So save a little bit of money if you just wait a little bit longer. So I'm against pre-ordering. So the limited edition stuff, I'm not a big fan of anyway, just because of that. Now, I know there's a lot of Motive fans who love collecting all the Motive bowling balls because there aren't really that many Motive balls. Then go nuts. Go nuts. I think this is a cool one. It's a lot of money, very expensive. The ball will probably roll good, but we're not going to see it thrown until May. So it's very tough to drop $220 on a ball that we haven't seen anything about, minus the specs. Now, luckily, you can tell a lot from the specs, but it could roll bad. It could roll good. I'm not really sure. It's kind of tough. Like the Apex Jackal, the specs looked really good, looked like a great ball. Start throwing it, rolls like doo-doo. So hopefully, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's good. The Jackal EJ was really good, so hopefully this one is as well. Ronnie, with the new discontinued ball list, thinking of getting the Entity or the Torpedo. They're both good. I would wait till they're more on sale. Wait a little while longer. Mike, when do we get drunk ZVL pics from the batch party? There were not many pictures taken. Now, I had a couple of beverages, that is true, but yeah, there were very few pictures from it. Justin, thought on the Cypher Pearl was the worst ball ever. Oh, it's bad. Yeah, it is that one's not a good ball. All right, Peter over on Facebook just bought the Evil Eye, Hyperdrive, and an X Factor. There you go. That's awesome. Hey, WRM, thank you for the $2 super chat. Is there a way to get the Motive exclusives? What do you mean by that? Is there a way to get the Motive exclusives? When do you... Oh, I got to look at that. Sorry to Joe. I just saw your message with the membership. That didn't come through earlier. Yeah, I mean, through your local pro shop or bowling.com are going to be the best ways you can pre-order the stuff if you really want to. Thank you, though, for this $2 super chat. Joe, when do you break the Avengers Doomsday trailer? Oh, that's soon. That's coming soon. Oh, I'm so excited for that movie, man. I'm so hyped for that movie. All right, let me catch up on TikTok quick. Notorious. I have the Ion Max Pro. That's what pearl should I get to pair with it? What pearl should I get? Yeah. Well, the hard thing is the Ion Max Pro is not a bowling ball. So thanks, Chris Barnes, for this one. Remember, there is no Ion Max Pro. Sorry, I'm not calling you out, Notorious. This is a very common thing. I had somebody in the shop last night who said the same thing. It's very common. There's the Ion Max is a bowling ball. The Ion Max Pearl is a bowling ball. The Ion Pro is a bowling ball. And the Ion Pro Solid is a bowling ball. Ion Max Pro isn't a thing. I'm going to assume you mean the Ion Max, which is the white, pink, and purple one. Then I would recommend a medium and sharp bowling ball. So Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Amped, something along there. Devin, what should I get next? You have the Extreme Envy, Phase 2, and the Typhoon. Looking to stay with Storm. Same thing, honestly. A step above the Typhoon, and one of those will be good. That was the Phase 2 Pearl or the Rockstar Amped. Myru, best replacement to the Summit Peak, but from Motive and Hammer. Motive has nothing in that spot. Hammer has nothing in that spot. There's nothing in that strong symmetrical pearl from either of those brands, unfortunately. So you have to stick with Roto Grip, Rockstar Amp, Storm, Ion Pro Max. That's my bet. You're right. That's the Chris Barnes special. Yeah, there's nothing from Motive and Hammer there. Sorry. Stealth Mode Hybrid is there as well. John, I have an alert and a concept. Would you recommend Black Widow Mania or Full Effect? I'd go Black Widow Mania. Full Effect is going to be a little bit strong. Keenan, Rocket AI versus Venom Hysteria. So the Venom, now we're finally getting videos of the Rocket AI after like 3 weeks of it being known to the public. And it's just basically a sharper, weaker symmetrical pearl. It's pretty angular. It's more angular than a lot of than all other Storm equipment or most other Storm equipment. Not as angular as Brunswick equipment yet. It's still not as angular as a Crown Victory or Crown Victory Pearl. But it fits really well in the medium and sharp category. So if you want to play a little deeper on the lane, I'd go a Rocket. If you want to play a little straighter, I'd go Venom Hysteria is the big difference there. Mihail, do you think the Evoke Mayhem and the Ion Max Pearl make a good pair? Yes, absolutely. JC, no point in taking a Crown Victory Pearl. Correct. If you're going to Nationals, there is very little reason to bring the weak and angular equipment. A lot of people bring it just in case, but I don't recommend it. There's very few. I know people who've gone 5, 10, 20 years of different styles who never get that weak in the bag. Usually the weakest you get is like a stronger symmetrical pearl. The Phase 2 pearls, Rockstar Amped, even like a Hammerhead Pearl could fit in there too, but usually you don't get any weaker than that. It's just a little too weak and quick for out there for that hard pattern because you're not really bowling on the burn ever. Those bowling balls are burn bowling balls. Michael, is the Energize close to the Intense Mindset? Kind of. Energize is earlier and smoother, so it could be close. Chloe, I want to add a ball to my 2-ball bag. What pairs well with a Dynasty? I would go some kind of stronger pearl ball. Black Widow Mania could be a good option if you like the Black Widow series. Otherwise, like a Viking. Hater Pearl's not too bad. If you want to get a little lower in the bag, a Stealth Mode Hybrid or a Phase 2 Pearl can work as well. So a lot of those. Tori, I found it best just get a new ball. Yeah, absolutely. Once talking about the detoxing again, once you are detoxing a ball, you will notice its performance just not really get better. And you can try to force it to. Like I have a Phase 2 behind me that has about 12 trillion games on it. It finally hit its point where it's not really absorbing oil anymore. I can detox it and I can get 2 games out of it. And then it's already puking oil. So then I'd have to detox it again. So like you can do that. And you can just or you can just throw a ball that is leaking oil and it's not going to hook much. You'll have to play very straight. Hey, Galaxy Gaming, thank you for the sub. But it's just not a good idea for your scores. It's a lot harder to score with those. I need a ball for dry lanes from James Garcia over on Facebook. Typhoon, Bubblegum Vibe, the new Revenge series looks pretty all right. The Danger Zone is really good. A lot of good options there. Robbie Sipe. Is there a number of games that a bowling ball is usually good for before it has to be replaced? It's a variable. It's a big variable situation. Some bowling balls, like the reports I had of the Black Widow 3.0, the original, the brown and black one, 100 to 200 games and you're already noticing the performance really decline. I've had some balls that never get bad. I know a lot of people who have IQ Tours from 8 years ago that still are performing really well. My Phase 2, like I said, performed for 4 straight years before it finally hit a point. So it depends on the ball. It really depends on what the bowling ball is, how quickly it absorbs oil, the makeup of the cover stock that we don't know much about because that's left behind closed doors. So it really depends. Usually I expect a couple 100 games. That's usually what I would expect out of it. I wouldn't think you're going to get over 500 games out of a ball before it's gone forever. Keysum, thank you for the $2 super chat. 14 to 15 mile an hour, 415 rev rate, 2-hander. Good low to medium oil ball. Yeah, you're very rev dominant. I think a hustle might be really good for your future. I think a hustle would be a great option. Let's see. Eric over on TikTok. Are you bowling the Tat again in Vegas? I am not. Hey, John Miller. Thrills with J Mills is hanging out. What's going on, man? We're playing COD after this, right? No, Eric, are you bowling the Tat? I am not. I am not. Man, Okay, I got it. Brent's comment just saying, what's going on, Brent? I'm not a big fan of the TAT tournament solely because there's a lot of randomness in it, and that triggers a part of my brain that I really don't like. And I didn't realize how random the tournament was. Like, you're never bowling on fresh oil until I got there. So I unfortunately will not be bowling a TAT for quite a while. Maybe in the future if there's a chance where it's a little less of the randomness, maybe, but nah, it'll be a little bit. And Brent, I threw a lot of the high road in game 3 of team. Well, Brent also has a 475 rev rate, I think, at a little slower speed. So if you're a highly rev dominant, there is a chance, but original high road is a little bit smoother, which is a good point actually, where an original high road will be better than something like maybe would be more angular, like a Typhoon, which is going to be a little quicker down lane. So if you have something super weak, make sure it's a little bit on the more smooth side so it's not too quick for you. Let's see. What else do we got today? David Jones used to be a mechanic. Would engine degreaser ruin a ball? Maybe. I have no idea. I am not knowledgeable enough in what can ruin a cover stock to really know. I would assume so, but I don't know. I assume a lot of foreign materials are bad for bowling ball cover stocks. LHN got a level from Facebook Marketplace. Will it work on the burn? Yeah. Bring it to like 3,000 grit and it can be okay. Scrimblow, looking at summer leagues. The place I open bowl has few open options, but another place near me has a sport shot league. Ooh, sport shot leagues are fun in the summer because your average doesn't matter and it's good practice. If you really want that practice, it's a good way to learn about various sport shots. I think sport shot leagues are really, really cool and very important for a lot of guys who are stepping into the game and want to bowl more tournaments because it'll help you. You're going to get your face beat in. It's just going to happen just because they're hard. Like, sport shots are hard, especially your first time going to them, but it'll help you learn what is best on different sport shots. So I'd recommend it. Thrill Hybrid versus Typhoon from Dennis. Please answer. I don't know about the please answer part. It makes me not want to answer, man. But Thrill Hybrid is going to be a lot earlier and smoother than the Typhoon. The Thrill Hybrid is barely a weak bowling ball. It's a very strong piece. Let's see. Justin, I heard the new Revenge Pearl shares the same HK22 formulation as the Intel, so only the cores separate them. You know, I wish I could answer that, but Radical doesn't really talk about their cover stocks. What I've been told by them, or not by them, but from other people who've been told, is that they change their cover stocks on every single ball, so there's no way you can tell if it's the same formula or not. They put a name on it that doesn't really mean a whole lot. It's kind of like the Guru and the Evil Eye technically have the same cover name, but they're not even remotely close, apparently, according directly from Radical. So maybe, I don't know, person from Radical would love to hear from you. We're not going to hear from someone from Radical. They don't watch my videos. Robin, Jayhawk Detox Machine uses ultrasonic with warm water. I'm going to look into that. I'm curious. I'm going to ask a friend of a friend. Tori, thinking once my severe collision craps out that the Heckler Hybrid would be a good option. I think so. I think that could be a good option. I like it. Amazing Robin. I was going to get the Pulse once my stealth mode dies, but now I don't know what to get. Ooh. Brunswick doesn't have much right now. Stealth mode is going to be a good option. Pulse, I don't see it going on sale, especially because it looks cool. I just don't see it happening, but they don't really have a whole lot there. Brian, I think you and Radical need an intervention with a TED Talk session. No, I have no ill will against them, and I don't know. I doubt they have any ill will against me anymore. Just, we had some disagreements a while ago, and I mean, for the record, I don't talk to anyone in the bowling ball companies almost at all. I have very few contacts in various companies, but like, I don't talk to any of the CEOs. I don't talk to any of the head guys at any of the ball companies. I don't have those connection lines. I mean, some of them have started once in a while, but like, it's not against Radical. It's just a lot of them. I just don't talk to them. I've never been contacted by a lot of them, and I'm just a little old YouTuber, so I haven't really reached out to try to get to them. I've reached out to a couple, and it usually just didn't end anywhere. It just kind of ended and petered out. So yeah, it's not something specifically with them. It's just in general. Like, I could say the same thing about Storm, and I doubt Boomer Shine's going to watch this, right? A lot of those guys have a few other things going on, and in their free time, they don't watch bowling stuff. David Jones, if you had a Widow Mania and a Widow Dynasty, which one comes out of the bag first? Widow Dynasty. Well, Widow Mania on a house shot. I would try the Widow Mania and see what it does. And then switch to the Widow Dynasty when that's gonna be interesting. And then I would switch to the Widow Dynasty when the lanes get cliffed. The Closer, first year in league, only 2 or 3 600 series in 30 weeks. Last night, I almost had my first 7. Hey, congratulations. That's a big jump. Love to see that. JC, I combat urethane with a Viking right through it and have it at 2 to 3K. There you go. Love it. Edward Bailey on Facebook. What are your thoughts on polishing your Zero Mercy Solid? I have the Pearl also, and it seems to work better. I'd recommend it. If it hooks too early, just polish it. I want to do that with mine. My Zero Mercy is just not good at all. I don't know if it was the layout I put on. I put a smoother layout, but it ain't it for most of the stuff I bowl on. So I needed to get a little further down lane. So I'm probably going to polish mine as well. Justin, Ebonite seems like the most likely brand to get axed. Pun intended with axe. That was terrible. The GB line keeps them in business. I don't know. Maybe. It's hard because none of these sales numbers are public information ever. So we have no idea. It's like when the ball companies could very much go live and say, this ball is the greatest selling ball of all bowling balls in history. No one would have any way to refute it. Like none of us, we don't have any data to show maybe it's not the best selling ball ever. It's kind of hard. That's kind of the sucky thing with bowling is we don't see a lot of that stuff. 6-7 over on TikTok. Oh boy. How should I help correct my early timing? Well, I don't want to answer because of your name, but nah, I'm kidding. Early timing is a really tough one to fix. One of the toughest things to bowling. What I recommend is starting your push away a little bit later. So when you take your first couple steps, whenever your push away is, try to delay it a little bit longer. That usually helps out a little bit. Notorious, I mean the Ion Pro Solid. Do you think the Ion Max Pearl is a good companion? Yes. Yeah, that absolutely can be. You meant the Ion Pro Solid when you said Ion Max Pro? Brother, what? That's the first time I've heard that. Usually when people say Ion Pro Max or Ion Max Pro, they mean the Ion Max. But yeah, those two compare well together. Rocky Trades, will the Rocket AI be a good dry lane ball? Yes, that's really when it's going to be best, is going to be on drier lanes. Absolutely. Tyler, got my first motive ball, 684 or 664 out of the box. There you go, Venom Hysteria. Venom Hysteria looks really good. It looks awesome. I love it. Scrimblow, the new EJ ball is a remake of a ball a lot of people, being a remake of a ball a lot of people liked is interesting. Yeah, this is not the first time that that we've seen that, kind of. Like, well, I don't know. It kind of is a remake, but kind of not. It does what Motive always does, is they just reuse the cores that they have. Like, Motive doesn't really make new cores, per se. They made the Nebula and then the Evoke series, and they haven't really made a new core since then. So it's kind of normal for them to a certain degree. Celtic, I use the Storm Power Grip glove because I develop a callus on my palm. Is there any other benefit to it? Not really. No, gloves, it's really just a feel thing. It helps protect your palm a lot. So if you like that, good. That's awesome. Mike, if there was a ZVL ball, I'd pre-order it just to spite you. Oh, that is so fair. That is totally fair. Jackson, Darkside Curse is a great benchmark, just not as early as far as a pulse. Oh, 100%. It is way weaker than a pulse. Yeah, it is eons weaker than where a pulse sits. And Grumpa already ordered a Covert VIP EJ. Specs were too tempting. Would the Hysteria be good for you? I'm loving the Evoke Hysteria, Jackal Ghost, Onyx EJ, Dynasty, Nuclear, and Rush. It's going to be weak. It's going to be very, very weak. So that's kind of the tough part of that ball. Is as a lefty and you like a lot of strong stuff, the Venom Hysteria is going to be pretty weak. So I would avoid it unless you need something for drier lanes. Hey, Ringing 10, what's going on? Rolls like doo-doo, got to be a t-shirt. I'm in. That's one of my favorite phrases to use. Like, as you guys probably can tell, I keep my channel very PG. I don't swear ever because I don't want like a kid to be watching and their parent to hear it and say, nope, you're never watching that again. So I always try to keep things like very PG, just with what I say. What you guys say in chat, I have zero control over, minus whatever all of the algorithms see as bad words. But otherwise, like, I don't So yeah, doo-doo is the perfect word to use for when a ball rolls terrible. Now, if you see me at a tournament, I will say different things. David, any thoughts on the Vengeance? The Vengeance is one of the quietest releases I've seen post-release from Storm. Storm is usually fantastic at showcasing bowling balls after they're announced and after they're in the public's eyes. I think they're the best company at that. I have seen nothing about the Vengeance. I forget the Vengeance exists a lot of the time. It looks good. People like it. It fits a spot. I just see nothing about it. I still want a Vengeance. I really want a Vengeance. I just haven't had the desire because I keep forgetting that ball exists. So I don't know. I would like one for nationals, in all honesty. I might try finding a used one on the marketplace just to have it. But I don't know. I just, it's a good ball, super strong and slow for a symmetrical ball, one of the strongest symmetrical balls on the market, but we just don't see a whole lot. Yeah, Vengeance looks good from Joseph over on Facebook from everything you've seen. Absolutely. That's what it seems like. I haven't seen really big negatives about it, but I just don't see much about it. It's also getting upstaged by the Bionic. Oh yeah, no, everything Storm is getting upstaged by the Bionic. I guarantee nobody cares about this Rocket and Monsoon in a couple weeks because the Bionic is still going to win stuff. Like when you have that big of a release, it overshadows everything. Phase 2 Pearl was a perfect example. The Viking, the Rockstar Amped, the Next Factor, all overshadowed by the Phase 2 Pearl. And I understand like they're different bowling balls entirely, but it does so well. Storm does so well at marketing a ball for so long. They're so good at it compared to the other brands. And that's why they can have a bowling ball that just hits so well for them. The other brands, they really like rely on people to market. Their marketing just doesn't really market stuff after announcement. Mine is like posting a picture of the ball and saying, look how cool it is. I saw that with the Black Widow Dynasty today. They posted a picture of just that ball and that's it. It's like, it looks cool. Like that doesn't sell a ball. That I don't know. I see it. I see marketing very differently. I'm not a marketer, but Storm is so good at it. That's why the Phase 2 Pearl is still selling so well. And it's a good ball. That's why the Bionic is so dominant and why it's been on back order for so long is because everybody wants it because they do a good job at marketing it. Then the pros do well with it. And then they're like, man, we can remarket what the pros did and sell even more of them. And they knock it out of the park. But this is the crazy one. The Outer Limits Black Hole won a title this year. Spencer Robarge. You know how much I saw of the Outer Limits Black Hole after the pictures of Spencer holding it? Zero. You know how good of an opportunity that is to be able to promote the living heck out of a bowling ball? Like, hey, this ball has a PBA title. Let's just pop it everywhere. Let's market the heck out of it. And nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I don't know. It's marketing rant of the week. That's always on the bingo card for a ZVL stream. Oh, it's always unfortunate. Like, I see how well the Bionic did, and it's a great ball. It's not a, one-of-a-kind greatest ball of all time. It's a really good bowling ball. But Storm is really good at marketing it as well. And the other stuff, just not as much. All right, back to reality. Captain Sidetrack, do you think the Theorem Solid is going to sell out quickly? No, I do not. I think it'll be around for a little while yet. I think it'll be around for a bit. Hey, Mad Hatter, what's going on? Good to see you. T. Kintz, when are you going to Nationals? I'm going May 5th and 6th. May 5th and 6th this year. James Felty, bring a set of golf clubs for Nationals just in case you bowl bad. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a fair call. That's expensive to bring, though. Thad House, what's going on? Oh, true. Apex Jackal was technically a new core. You're right. It was a new core that wasn't a new core that we're never going to see again. Jamie, Maxwell Hybrid, a good medium smooth ball if you're more rev dominant. Yes. And Ralphie, what should you eat for dinner? What did I have tonight? I didn't have dinner. I had a late lunch. I got to eat after this. I think I had frozen sesame chicken. We bought some sesame chicken packets. So I was trying those. They're really good. Big fan. Michael Smith, looking to replace my Sub-Zero Forge. There's not much like that Sub-Zero right now. There's a couple balls very similar. Raptor Rain is very close. I think the Pulse was very close to it. I think in And not really an evil eye. I would say like a vengeance is fairly close to it in some ways if you drill it a little smoother and have some surface on it. So I think some non-motive balls fit there really well. One-handed lefty, what is the best storm replacement for the Criterion hybrid? Viking. Definitely the Viking. Spencer Reek, been throwing my track 505C2 again. And I forgot how much I love that ball. One of the worst named bowling balls ever. That was such an unfortunate name. Oh, I like their idea. They were trying to do what I do right now, which is simplify bowling balls for people, but it just made it sound bad. Joe, ZVL channel correction. The correct response to any question is, should I buy this or that? Is both. Buy both. Good luck and high score. Buy 3 of them. Buy each of them. Buy 2 versions of each of them. Drill them 2 different ways. Buy a 3rd one to put on your shelf. Boom. Good to go. Wins. Instant wins. And Mills, Buddies is dumping the Theorem Pearl for 105. Love the Theorem Solid, and I miss my Vaporize. There's nothing close to a Vaporize. No, the Theorem Pearl is not close to a Vaporize, unfortunately. There is unfortunately nothing like that ball. So this weekend, that was actually a really popular ball for a couple of the guys, a couple of the Brunswick guys who made it longer into match plays the Vaporize. It was so good for them. And there's nothing remotely close to the Vaporize that Brunswick has right now, or Storm, or Motive. That ball was in such a cool spot that no one has filled yet, which is weird. I can't believe no one's filled it yet. I think one guy said, I think Dawson said he had like 3 of them or something, or 4 of them still stashed away, that he's just going to keep on drilling. Hey, ho-oh, is the Ebonite Spartan worth it? Oh, let me tell you about the Ebonite Spartan. Ebonite Spartan took me to 4th place this weekend. It carried me on its back to 4th place. Now, it carried me because it was polished, and I had a weaker layout, and I bowled like 5 to 10 games on it, so it calmed down a lot. It was sick. I really like the ball. Nobody cares about that ball. Nobody has purchased that bowling ball. Really, really good ball. I cannot say it's good when it's dull, but it's really good when shiny. When it's dull, it was fine. It was like any other asymmetrical solid ball. When shiny, awesome. Loved that thing. I might bring it to Nationals. There's a good chance I bring it to Nationals this year. LHN. How does my soon-to-be 3-ball arsenal look? Equinox Solid or Ion Max? Phase 2 Pearl level. I like it. No, I like that a lot right now. All right, we are at about the hour point, so make sure you guys, if you're new here, hello, welcome. You look great today. Make sure to drop a subscription or a follow on whatever channel you're on. Remember, we're live on 4 different platforms. We have a lot of comments we're going through. If I haven't hit your comment yet, I apologize. I will be getting to it. On YouTube, I'm about 10 minutes behind. On TikTok, I'm about 5 minutes behind. So I will be catching up on those. We are live on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook all at the same time. If you guys enjoy what we're doing, make sure to follow on whatever platform you're on. We do have a lot of cool things we do on this channel. zvlbowling.com is a place that has a lot of informational stuff for bowling to make you a better bowler. We have a Patreon if you want more one-on-one coverage and one-on-one help in the bowling world. We have a lot of different options for you out there. Otherwise, we have a lot of cool sponsors that are popping up over here with a lot of really cool things. TikTok, you unfortunately cannot see it. Everywhere else can. So we have a lot of cool sponsors over there and partners. Make sure to go check them out. We have various codes on them as well. I think Apparel EFX, for a little bit of a sneak peek, might be running some sales soon. We have a couple things going on, so be ready for that. Be ready. All right, but let's get back into all the comments. The main topic of the day today was the 9 billion bowling balls that were all discontinued today. 22 bowling balls from the Brunswick brands were officially wiped off of the market. Brunswick went from, oh, I should have looked. How many balls were they at? I think they were at 76 maybe. Let me look. They're at 54 now. So they were at 76 before those 22. Well, kind of. There were 17 that were on the charts, and then 3 different Rhino colorways and 2 different Raw colorways. So really, technically, there were 71 bowling balls that were on my charts from Brunswick. We're down to 54 right now. Most of those wiped were in the medium and smooth category. Brunswick really got rid of a lot of their symmetrical balls right now. They do not have many. What is their percentage right now? It's actually 50-50. That's kind of surprising. 50% of their balls are asymmetric, 50% are symmetrical. That's interesting. Cool. But that's been our main topic of discussion today. The big ones of the list, Theorem Solid, Stealth Mode Solid are the 2 best ones. Combat is another really good one as well. You should see some sales going on there sooner rather than later. I haven't checked if bowling.com has had the sales yet. If I look up like the stealth mode is 139. Theorem solid is still up at 164. Pulse is still at 184. What would be another one? Combat is at 189. Wow. They still have every single weight. I'm going to wait for that ball to be on sale before I go pick one up. That's a high price. Holy cow. That is what it retailed at. The retail price of that ball is 190. So crazy. All right, let's get back into the comments. Let us see what is going on. Colby bowled a tournament using red square. That is gross. I am a big anti-red square person in bowling. I know it's a funny pattern and it's cool, but there's not much skill in that pattern than what you'd expect. Like that pattern usually in an amateur tournament is just who can make the most spares and who can Brooklyn strike or get enough lucky strikes that also add up in a row. That's usually what those turn into. I bowled a couple of red square tournaments and usually it's just like who can Brooklyn the most or who can just hit more 10 pins or hit more spares and who can split the least. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of them personally. I will not be running one of those at the ZVL Classic, which I should announce. I never got confirmation from my guy. He told me a pattern not to use that I offered, and then he gave me I gave him another option. He never said anything. Al, if you're out there, respond to my text. But the patterns we are using for the ZVL Classic, for anyone here who's bowling it, we are hosting a tournament May 16th in southern Minnesota. If you're not on the wait list, you can still come and hang out and have some fun. It is the 2026 Minnesota State Tournament pattern. It's a 7-to-1 ratio, 43 feet, easier pattern. That is our easy pattern. Our hard pattern, because every pair is going to have a different, so every pair, the left lane is going to be one pattern, the right lane is going to be another one. The hard pattern, 2024 USBC Masters, 1.5-to-1 ratio, 44 feet, 30 mils. I'll be making a post a little bit after this to fully showcase that. So if you're bowling the tournament, those are the two patterns that we will be bowling on. I don't know which is going to be on the left and right. It will be advertised and disclosed day of the tournament, but should be really fun. So we'll be posting that a little bit later, but that is the official announcement for the ZVL Classic. So if you haven't joined in, you want to get on the wait list, just shoot me a note, shoot me a message on any of the various DM platforms, and I'll be able to get you on. All right, but let's go back and keep going. I've bitten my tongue. Like, my tongue is a little swelled up right now. Sorry if my voice is a little bit weird. I bit the side of my tongue, I think when I was sleeping a couple of nights ago, and it's a little bit swelled up, and I keep hitting it because it's a little bit swollen. It's very annoying. So every 10 or 15 minutes, I'll just very slightly bite it, and it hurts, and I hate it. All right, let's keep going. Joseph, not actually bowling League tonight. League roll-off is next week. Crazy to see so many discontinued balls. Wish I had waited to order mystery boxes. Yeah, I bet right now if you got some mystery boxes, you'll get a lot of the discontinued stuff. But there are some stinkers in the DC'd list, like Ethos Solid, I don't see as a good ball. Or some other ones. Not the Guru, the Torpedo is meh. Guru's okay. A lot of people actually don't like the Guru. Very surprising. I got a lot of hate comments towards that Guru Oracle. That was kind of disappointing to see. G. Bryant, what's going on? What is the best way to detox oil and stuff out of your bowling ball at home? There is not a good way. There is not a good way to get oil out of a bowling ball safely at home. Don't use your oven at all, please. You're going to break something. People have caused too many injuries and issues with that. So there really isn't a good way at home. Apologies. Sipe, really old bag of bowling balls. Black Widow, Dark Legend, a Venom Panic, and a Hellraiser. Venom Panic, just get a Venom Shock. Hellraiser, I don't remember what that ball was. I would recommend looking up the specs of them and see what fits best. Chubb's recommendation for a weakened sharp ball. I have a NU 2.0 as your weakened smooth. I think the bubblegum vibe would fit really well with it since you have a hammer ball. I think that would be a decent idea. Good results of using regular Dawn dish soap when a ball is really dirty. I will preface, like, if you guys do soak your bowling balls or you try to heat them, do at your own risk and don't expect the ball to be good for much longer. That should be a last ditch option. The best option to keep your scores high is to just get a new ball. If you're at that point, if you have a couple hundred games in a ball, that is about the life cycle of it. It's kind of like a pair of shoes. Like, yes, you can put duct tape on your shoes to hold them together, sure, but it's much more comfortable, safe for your feet, and cleaner to just get a new pair. So same thing with a bowling ball. It'll help your scores more if when you get to those detox points, you can try it once or twice, but your ball is not going to act the same after you do it because bowling balls are sponges and it will absorb a lot of weird stuff. So I don't recommend it. Hickland had a really good video in the last couple of days. He had a good series about what heat does to a bowling ball. Trust him with that. He was a bowling ball designer. He has an engineering degree. He knows his stuff. It's really the first public push of that stuff. So I recommend that. Oh, God. Oh, no. What does soaking a ball in acetone do? Makes it illegal. Do not do that. Do not soak a ball in acetone. What it does is it softens the ball a ton. It softens the ball a bunch, and a softer ball will hook more, but a reactive ball, as USB-C found in some experiments, it'll go back to its regular point and actually get harder and worse. So do not soak a ball in acetone or MEK or any of those materials. Yeah, please do not. It is also highly illegal. The ball cannot be thrown anymore if you do that and if you get caught. If you get caught doing that, you're going to have a lot of issues coming on your hands. If you've bowled, you're going to have there's going to be a stink that gets put up for any time you ever use that bowling ball that you might get your scores marked as zeros. That happened. There was a college kid who, for giggles, they soaked a bunch of urethanes, and USB-C went hard after them because one of those guys posted on Reddit, "We soak our bowling balls all the time at Weber," I think was his post. It was somewhere around that, and it was just dumb. So hot water is the way to go. No, do not use hot water for it either. That is a bad idea. I do not recommend any kind of detoxing. It's just not really a good idea. If you do detox, go to your pro shop and use their rejuvenators if they have it, but do not expect that ball to be good for much longer, because that's the big thing with that ball, with that process. All right, let's see. Playful. Oh boy, we got urethane comments. Oh boy. I find it funny that USB-C cited youth development and banning urethane, and then 3 rookies come in and win titles. Is the youth suffering? Seems like they're coming in more tour ready than ever. No, what they're not talking about those guys. Those guys are adults. Like those guys are adults, and I don't know, that they were able to figure things out. They're really worried about the under 18 crowd. So last year at Junior Gold, everybody who did really well basically only threw purple hammers. That was what everybody did on every pattern. That is just what their happy spot was. What it's doing is it's causing a lot of youth to not be able to play deeper on the lane with reactive equipment. They're not really learning how to change their hand position. It's kind of the Chris Barnes comment where he said, current tour guys don't know how to change hand position because they can just throw urethane. So that is what they're worried about. Their worry isn't Spencer Robarge, who's arguably the most hyped up rookie almost ever, because he was dominating at age 12 already, or 10 or 8, whatever it was. He shot a 300 earlier than almost anybody. And he's been winning everything forever. So they're not really worried about those guys. Though they're adults. They are some of the most talented human beings on the planet. They're worried about the guys who are a step below them. They're worried about the guys who aren't going to go to PBA Tour, but are going to continue in bowling, that they're only going to know how to throw urethane. And if they don't have the option of urethane, that they're going to hate it and struggle and quit. So that's one of their concerns. Leedy, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Billy, currently have the Black Dragon. What should I get next? Thinking about the Craze Hybrid. It's going to be smooth. Yeah, the Black Dragon, very early, very smooth. Craze Hybrid is going to be just very late, very smooth. So if you want another smooth bowling ball, Swag is going to have those for you, and it's going to be a big step down. So yeah, if you're getting another Swag ball, I'd recommend something like that. Or the Craze Tour Pearl, one or the other. I would honestly recommend the Craze Tour Pearl over the Craze Hybrid. I think the update that Swag did is better to their cover stock. Still not up to snuff with like the other brands, but it's a lot better. So I would recommend a Craze Tour Pearl instead. Don, my best advice is throw straight at your spares with a dedicated spare ball. Yes, very important. If your name is not Norm Duke, get a spare ball. Ringing 10, can we get the rolls like Doo-Doo shirt? I am in the process of talking to a few people about merch, so we will see. Might be some stuff coming soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Parker, banning urethane is going to make the youth bowlers want to throw it more / throw urethane like. And that's, I mean, I don't know. I won't get into much urethane arguments right now. But I don't think it's going to cause people to want to throw more urethane if it's banned. Because you can't, and it doesn't really benefit you. I think kids are going to bowl with whatever they have and whatever's the best option, whatever they see on TV as well. And right now, the best option 100% of the time, honestly, is a lot of urethane. It is on almost any pattern. Urethane is generally your best option on the fresh. Of course, not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time it is on sport shots, not on house shots. Random guy, last week I shot 217 with the Zero Mercy. Congrats, man. That's awesome. If you want urethane advice, Zach, I think you should drill another IQ 78. Oh, God, and hit it. Oh, no, that's Will. Oh, let me scroll down and see what that says. And hit it with 180. Brother, I don't even have a 180 pad, man. The lowest pad I had was a used 360. So for context, Will Madafee in the Facebook chat right now, amazing bowler in Minnesota. So I was bowling with him this weekend, and on the fresh 40-foot Don Johnson oil pattern, he threw a 180 grit IQ 78, and it looked really good. My 500 grit IQ 78 looked really, really bad. And he's not wrong. I need a lot more. I needed 180 grit to make that ball okay. But the grittiest pad I had was a used 360 pad and then a true cut 1500. So that was not an option. Also, the RecruitUS Facebook channel is hanging in the chat right now. RecruitUS, you're seeing them a lot up here. Make sure to go check them out. They run a ton of things for youth bowlers. If you're a youth bowler who's watching right now, if you're the parent of a youth bowler, if you're the friend of a youth bowler, a colleague of a youth bowler, you shouldn't have any colleagues if you're a youth, but either way, whatever you are, make sure to go check out RecruitUS if you want to bowl in college. They have so many different ways that you can get hooked up with college programs, talking to college coaches, bowling in front of college coaches, a little bit of everything. And as they say, May 16th in Cleveland, they have a showcase that's going on. Make sure to go check that out. If you are, please let me know. Shoot me a DM if you are going to that Cleveland event. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go because I have my wedding on May 23rd. So the best I could do is running a tournament that's 5 minutes away from me. I wasn't able to make the fly out to Cleveland for a couple of days. My fiance would probably kill me for a very good reason. So make sure to go check out that Cleveland showcase. They are RecruitUS. If you just Google RecruitUS, you'll be able to find them. Fantastic group of people. So make sure to go check them out. And Will, how much did I beat you in that game in match play? A lot. I think, wait, that was only like 50, right? That was 40 or 50. Hey, but how much did I beat Dawson by? That's all that matters, really. How much I beat the champ by was 90. If anyone needs 180 grip bads during Junior Gold, make sure to check out Wild Bill's bowling supplies in Bogarts. I love that so much. Don, I expect to see the red ball on the Haas machine, fresh 180s for you, 8 to 10 minutes, and there'll be no logos left. Oh, God, please, no. That's absurd to hit urethane with 180. It struck. The IQ 78 is a ball that doesn't want to do the right thing a lot. To make it do the right thing, the super surface is a really good play. And he beat me enough with it that it looked great. It looked like a soft urethane at 180 grit. It was awesome. It was so dumb, but it was so cool to see. All right, let's keep checking on the comments. Forrest, haven't bought a new ball since our local alley closed. Current arsenal is a Quantum Evo hybrid. Ooh, that was a good ball. Defender hybrid. NV Tour Pearl, GB4 Solid, and Radioactive 5. Oh, interesting. Replacements, well, GB4 Solid, GB5. Perfect replacement there. Quantum Evo Hybrid, Combat Hybrid is going to be your best bet. I think they have the same colorway. I think the Quantum Evo Hybrid has the same colorway almost as the Combat Hybrid. Blue, green, and silver. If you look at the Combat Hybrid, it is green, I know, and silver, and gray. And black. Oh, okay. They're close. They're close. But yeah, I would recommend those two to start. Don, the best advertisement for a ball is next to a trophy. True. James Felty, which actually could match up with storm equipment. It's all over around here since I live 3 hours from the plant. Oh, yeah. You are very much in storm territory. Absolutely, you are. Joey D, I've been away from bowling for 10 years, planning to get into it. Speed dominant, recommend a 3-ball arsenal. So, Joey, I have a 3-ball arsenal guide on my channel. That's going to give you a really good idea and what ball to start with if you're just getting back into bowling. So go check out my YouTube, just scroll a little bit, and you'll be able to find some really cool videos. That'll help you kind of pinpoint what would be best. Is there anything close to the Origin right now? Ion Max Pearl is going to be your best bet. Ion Max Pearl is the closest ball we've got right now. That is the closest you're going to get. It's not 100%, but it's good. David Jones, with the way they introduced and discontinued balls, would pretty much every ball be a limited edition? It's a fair point. Honestly, the Jackal EJ was as easy to get at times as a regular bowling ball. So I assume the same thing will happen with the Covert. I mean, hell, you can still buy the Identity. I just saw somebody just posted a sale on it for like $130 or $140 or something. So you can still buy the ball. The limited edition balls never truly are limited edition. What happens is like Motive's going to get pre-orders. They're going to pour all of them and they're going to pour extras. And that's just how they're going to do it. And you're still going to be able to buy it, but it might be very pricey. Chubbs, but they want to post the axe. Yeah, they post the axe a lot. And axe sales skyrocketed after that. Oh, that was unfortunate. Joseph Ross, Spartan is GOAT of the sneaky good balls. I agree. Celtic, what movies are you looking forward to? I don't really have any movies I'm looking forward to right now. I saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I loved it. I'm a Mario nerd, which is a big reason. So the references were 10 out of 10. Otherwise, I don't really have any movies that are really coming up as summer movies that I'm looking forward to right now, unfortunately. The new Spider-Man, 100%. That looks amazing. I don't know when that comes out, though. I think it's July or something, but that's really been about it. That's really about it. Remember, if I miss your comment, first apologies, but wait a little bit and then comment it again and I'll be able to hit it on the second time through. There's a lot of comments coming in right now, so I always miss a handful of them while we're doing this. So apologies for that. Replacement for the Ocean Vibe, definitely the Bubblegum Vibe. 100% the Bubblegum Vibe is going to be your replacement. Larry Tripp, I want to get all the track discontinued balls. Will that be a good 3-ball arsenal? No, it is not. The Theorem Solid and the Stealth Mode Solid fit a very similar part of the bag. I'd only get one or the other. I think the Paragon and one of those can fit well together as very smooth options, but I don't think all of them go together. Tori Casey, changing alleys for a league. New place hooks. Gonna sit my strong stuff, or gonna lay off the strong stuff and go with all the medium stuff. Lefty leaning speed dominant. If I get a Pearl, which one? Okay, I see what you're saying. Venom Shock, Mantra Hybrid, GB4 Hybrid. If I get a Pearl, which one? Honestly, as a lefty, you might not need anything too angular off of that stuff. You have a lot of shinier equipment. If you want something, the Crown Victories are a good play for you. Joseph, I did get an Ethos on Black Friday and you sold it. Totally fair. Totally fair. Robert shot an 869 with the Zero Mercy Pearl last night. Holy cow. Congratulations, man. That is a massive, massive set. Big congrats to you. Holy cow. And never moved. That's a bowler's dream come true, is you can just camp out, you pitch a tent, you chill there the entire night, and you get a lot of strikes. That is a bowler's just dream situation for League. But that is awesome. Congratulations, man. That's super cool to see. That's incredible. Yeah, don't detox your balls. Save the money for your next ball. Definitely an option. Definitely an option. Let's see. Mixtape, what's going on? I went with the Hyperdrive Pearl. There you go. Love it. Mark Leffridge, late to the show. New puppy. Hey, congratulations on the new puppy. Hopefully you're having a fun time with a lot of bite marks in everything and anything. So enjoy. Enjoy on that front. Rick, Rockstar is still the best ball for all-around performance. Ooh, I love my Rockstar. I would agree. I think the Rockstar is being slept on, and it's very hard because you have the Phase 2. So it's hard to go against the Phase 2, but I think the Rockstar is incredible. I love my Rockstar. I bring it with most places. I do wish I brought it with this last weekend. I think it would have helped in my middle transition games a little bit more. I just didn't have it. I tried different bowling balls and they didn't work. So I will be bringing the Rockstar pretty much to every event for the next couple of months until I need a new one. That is where I'm at with that ball right now. I love that thing. It's a little bit cheaper than a Phase 2, so. And Bionic is probably the best ball since the Phase 2. Holy cow. Too bad no one can buy them right now. It's so hard to get a Bionic. No, Bionic is, I saw somebody in TikTok chat said you're missing out if you don't have one. Yeah, Racer Guy did. And agreed, the ball is great. The ball is killer for so many people. It's just very hard to get right now because everybody wanted them so badly. There are just not as many out there. Let's see. Phil Baller. Looking for information. I know when a solid burns up on the lane, but I can't tell when it's the wrong time to use a pearl ball. What are things to look for when the pearl is the wrong option? So in any kind of situation for bowling, the time to know when a ball is not the right one to use are really two situations. One, where you have zero miss room. No matter what the shot is, if you have zero miss room and you have to ace every single shot, by ace, I mean throw it perfectly, it's not the right ball for the situation. In almost every pattern, you need to have a little bit of miss room. Sometimes it's not much. Sometimes on a sports shot, you have very little miss room, but you still need a little bit of wiggle room. Whether that be your ball roll can be a little bit off and you can still strike, or you can miss your spot left or right a little bit, whatever it may be. You need to have that miss room. If you don't have it, you're in the wrong ball. Now, for solids versus pearls, the big one is on house shots, are you carrying the corner pins? Are you getting out the 10 pins, the 7 pins? Are your misses always leaving 4 as a righty? Are you leaving 4 pins? Then you move a little bit and you 10 pin, and you move a little bit and you 4 pin. If that's the case, that's bad ball reaction. It's best to go to something else. Your ball might be a little too angular down lane, or it might be burning up a little too much, depending on what those 10 pins are that you're leaving. So if you feel like you just cannot miss, that's the best time to try switching. And if you're in a solid and it seems like it's coming in a little flat, your ball is deflecting through the 9-pin slot as a righty. As a lefty, if your ball is deflecting through the 8-pin slot, that means you should get something that conserves a little bit more energy, and that's where a pearl ball generally comes into play. Not all the time. I know I have a guy in my Discord who hates the phrases solid hybrid pearl for bowling balls, and he thinks it's useless. But generally speaking, a pearl ball is going to be able to get a little further down lane, conserve more energy, and be a little more angular. And I just bit my tongue again. Ouch. Oh, man. Oh, I hate it. Stupid tongue. Let's see. Giggity. Nice name. Storm brands versus Brunswick brands versus Motive. What are they known for? Have they changed their design? Almost English. Design philosophy over the last few years? Short answer is yes. Brunswick, before the merger, before HK22, was really known as a smooth bowling ball company. They had the smoothest ball shapes. They were earlier than the other brands. Motive was always earlier as well and a lot smoother down lane. So in the past, Motive was the smoothest, then it was Brunswick, then it was Storm. Storm was a skid snap company. That's how they got so big. They were notorious for being able to make ball shapes that no one else could. Now, in 2026, the roles have flipped a little bit. Motive hasn't moved at all. They are still right where they have been. They've really stuck to what they've been good at. Motive fans love it. However, Storm and Brunswick have kind of flip-flopped. Brunswick has made it a point that they want to make really angular equipment. They came out with so many angular balls, more angular than anything else. The Crown and Crown Victory Pearl are perfect examples of that. The Danger Zones, the Stealth Mode Hybrid is a good example even. The Full Effect. A lot of their bowling balls, very, very angular down lane. And Storm has kind of become more smooth. They're a little slower down lane, more of that middle ground. So they have changed a little bit. Now, it always depends on what the next greatest thing is. The good thing with having so many ball companies is they're always competing. All three brands are always competing, trying to be the best. So will that change in the next couple of years? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Ken, unless you're bowling a USB-C event, then the best option is an axe with 360. No, that is never the best option. Oh, God. RJ, did things get salty between Norm Duke and Ron Hicklin when Duke said, "Don't care, believe in angles" on your former show? I don't watch him anymore. Yeah, due to the due to me being letting go. I haven't watched the show at all, so I have no idea. Not sure. David, you mentioned a couple hundred games is the age out for best performance. Yep. Yeah, usually a couple hundred. Depends on the ball, always. Depends specifically on the ball. Ken, I'm better when I have 7 to 8 boards of area. Exactly. That's where your scores are always highest. Like this weekend, I was averaging, I was shooting 240 every game for a little while. It wasn't because I was acing my shots. I was throwing it good, don't get me wrong, but I also had miss room. I had plenty of miss room that made it very, very easy. Sani, congrats on the wedding. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Peter Bishop, how does the Paragon Shadow compare to the Ion Max and the Zero Mercy? Weaker. A little bit weaker, a little bit quicker down lane are what those are. Billy, I bowled my second 600 in a sport league yesterday. Congratulations. Black Pearl Urethane on the Autobahn. Congratulations, man. That's a big accomplishment. Being able to shoot 6 on a sport shot is no easy feat at all. Very, very hard to do. Is the Pulse a good ball for a typical house shot? It's very strong, but yes, it can be, especially if you're more speed dominant. If you're rev dominant, might not be the best option. Joseph, Zelda movie will hopefully be as good as the Mario movies. I haven't heard a date for that. Is there a date for the Zelda movie yet? Is a Hammer Raw a good first ball? Absolutely. Random guy shot a 217 with my Zero Mercy solid. Love that. Congrats. Phil Baller, do you know when you should switch out of a Pearl? Hopefully my last comments helped a little bit on that front. Let's check out TikTok a little bit. What brand is my favorite right now? Matty Ice. I have a little bit of everybody. I don't have a lot of Motive stuff right now. Motive doesn't match my ball roll very well. So I've really stuck with a lot of Storm and Brunswick equipment. That's been my go-to. Robert, you finish your league with 235 average. Nice. Ken, camping and bowling. Good time. Absolutely. Mika, is the Equinox Pearl sharper or smoother? It's on the sharp side. Slap, you have a UC2 and a Brunswick Infinity. Was thinking of a Zero solid. If you want a ball stronger than both the Infinity and the UC2, earlier and smoother, go with a Zero Mercy. Otherwise, I'd avoid it. Otherwise, I would stay far away from it. And Rick Mitchell, you just ordered your 4th one. Nice. Love that. Oper, I've been picking bowling back up again. I watched your 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9 ball arsenal video. I'm curious how often you plan to make updated versions. So for any of like the series that I have where I recommend bowling balls, I usually want to make them once a year. A lot of them I don't want to do too often, but a couple times a year for like my best of series is what I do. And then for like my speed dominant, rev dominant, balanced, the 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9, a lot of those series I do once a year is my goal. So a lot of those bowling balls should still be in production. And then what you can use are a lot of my categorization guides that I have, like mainly on my website right now. You can use those to be able to determine what bowling balls, if some of them that I mentioned are gone, what you could use to replace them. True House Bowler, from what you're hearing from Nationals, is there a good pattern to practice on? Yeah, just use last year's. Just use last year's pattern. Everything I've heard is it's nearly identical to last year. The only difference are the lane surfaces. So from what I've heard, you have more miss room to the gutter on team solely because the lane surfaces are a little more even is the big one. That's why you're seeing scores higher. Brian Sweeta just got in from a meeting with Danny Green. That is so cool. That is so awesome. Love that. Insert name. I have a Shock. What do you recommend for a 3-ball Motive arsenal for house shots? I'd go like a Nebula and maybe like a Raptor Rain or an Evoke Hysteria alongside of it. I think that'd be a good option. Steve Jacino, messaged you about my PSO recommending the Bionic as a 1-ball, and I asked your opinion. You said I should listen to his recommendation. Second game with it, front 10 for 288. There you go. Nice. Dawn, is your wife going to be mad when I get you a bowling ball for your wedding gift? Nah, she'll be okay. She'll be fine with it. Oh, it's projected 2027 and 28. Oh, okay, I see. Dr. Barker, what do you think about the new Venom Shock? Yeah, Venom Hysteria is looking really good. A lot of people are liking it. It's a smoother Pearl ball, which is good, but it's a very good Pearl Venom. We haven't had many of those. It looks really good. Now, the hard thing is there's a lot of balls that are around it. So if you have a Hyper Venom, you have a Nebula, you don't need the Venom Hysteria. Not a good option to get. Not a good option at all. Since we're nearing slowly the end of stream, we got a nice little 20 or 30 minutes left, but we're catching up on all of the questions. Make sure to drop a subscription or a follow or a like if you haven't. If you didn't know, I am a full-time content creator right now, so I have no other jobs outside of all of the bowling content creation. So the best way to help support the channel is always the subscriptions, the likes, all that jazz. If you want to help in other ways, I do have links on my website where you can just donate as a thank you. Otherwise, if you want to join my Patreon, you can get some stuff out of it, where for different tiers, different monthly paid tiers, you can get different things, whether it be a coaching session, whether it be Arsenal reviews, whether it be early looks at some of my Arsenal guides or my charts or my graphs or whatever else I make for the channel. So be really appreciated if you go check those out. That link is down below in the description as well, along with my link to zvlbowling.com. Otherwise, we have a lot of sponsors up here. Make sure to go check them out. A lot of partners and sponsors. We have a couple of links out there. Any of the codes that you get, I do get a kickback from any purchases from that. If you do buy anything from bowling.com, who's up there right now, make sure to say in the comments ZVL sent you. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching so far. We will continue to go through a handful of more questions. Let's keep going. Drink of the day I never talked about. Arnie Palmer is my drink. I was drinking an Alani Blueberry all day, or Blue Slush, apologies. It's almost, there actually is a little bit left. I opened it very late today. I noticed since I work from home and do all this stuff just at my desk, I'm opening energy drinks later and later and later. When I was working corporate, I was starting at 6:30. My hours were 6:30 to 4. So by like 8 a.m., I tried to wait till 8 a.m. to open my energy drink, and I would just sip it all day. But when I'm at my desk, I'm actually really bad at drinking them. I probably could drop energy drinks if I wanted to, but I don't want to. They taste so good. Like the flavors are so good compared to soda. So I just never will. Just ain't happening. Just ain't happening at all. All right, let's catch back up. Travis Matthews, thoughts on the danger zone. The danger zone is probably the best bang for your buck ball in bowling right now. The all black one, the danger zone solid, is $120. But if you sand it, it acts like a $170 ball. Like it is very strong when you sand it for like 10 to 15 games. It calms down after a little bit, but it is a very strong ball that a lot of people are actually using on sport shots a little bit more, which is really cool. So it's a great ball. It's very much bang for your buck, good option, but it's not a truly like weakest of the weak bowling balls per se. Like if you want a really weak bowling ball, the danger zone might not be the best play. The vibe, the bubblegum vibe is a little better, or like the hustles are a little more like true entry level compared to a danger zone, but they hook a lot. Ken, my nationals team was tied for 10th in standard. Congrats. That's awesome. But you wish you could have bowled. Yeah. I wish I could have bowled this year. That is still really cool though, that they made a big run like that. That's awesome. They'll make some money. Make a little bit of cash out there. Might as well. Oper, I'm interested in getting the Ross solid. I'm only throwing 15-pound stuff, and I can only see it being sold for 16. Really? Are you sure? The black one? Raw black solid. I am. Oh yeah, it's already sold out in 14 and 15 on bowling.com. I would wait a little bit. There'll be a new one that comes out very soon. There'll be a new solid one sooner rather than later. So don't worry about that. Insert name. What's your best advice for a 160 average trying to get better faster? So if you're at a 160 average, Don, are you jumping into every single, you were on TikTok, then you went to YouTube, and now you're on Facebook? Impressive. Way to hit the three-peat. If I see you over on Twitch, then we got the quadfecta. Yeah, no, it's discontinued, but I thought there'd still be some out there. It's kind of surprising. The Hammer Raw Black was discontinued. 2 of the Hammer Raw colorways were gone. The solid one and then the silver and blue one are both discontinued, but it's a little bit surprising to see them already sold out. It's very surprising. But yeah, there should be new ones coming out very soon. Don't worry about that. Got to get you them likes. Hey, I will take it. I will take it every time. All right, back to the 160 average as a two-hander. So the big things when you're at 160 is really consistency. That's always the biggest one to get you a little bit higher. You're probably just throw it a little bit all over the place. So you want to work on just being able to be a little more consistent. What that means is you might be muscling the ball too much, trying to avoid the muscling, or you're just very new to bowling and just slowly getting used to your game, which is very normal. You shouldn't expect to average 200 in the first couple of months, especially if you're still growing, you're still learning two-handed, all that stuff. So what I would recommend, try to make sure that you're trying to learn a few things two-handed, trying to improve your form. Also, make sure you can shoot some spares. When you're at 160, you're probably not hitting a ton of spares. And the best way to get faster, quicker, to get that average higher is trying to focus on spares. Try to find ways to hit more spares. That'll be able to help a lot. Peter Bishop, this time Paragon Shadow compared to the Equinox Solid. Ooh, that's a good question. Those are close. I think the Paragon is going to be a little sooner and still a little sharper than the Equinox. Equinox is going to be a touch later and a touch smoother. Sani, any thoughts on the GB5 Hybrid? You want to replace your old Cypher. So it's not going to be close to the Cypher. It's going to be a little bit more angular than a GB5 Solid, but not crazy, crazy angular. It's going to be a little longer, a little bit quicker. So focus on that. That'll be, so if you want that, definitely an option. I've seen a lot of people actually shine their GB5 hybrids to try to make them a little more like the Pearl option, because it is a big ball. The cover is pretty strong. It wants to pick up an oil a little bit, but it wants to be a little bit quicker. So if you polish it, it'll be a little more in that medium sharp category. But for your sake, if you want it to be like a Cypher Solid, I'd honestly recommend a different ball. I don't think it's going to be a one-to-one comparison. Marino, which ball would you start on house shots? Jackal EJ or Sub-Zero? Definitely Jackal EJ. Let's see. Looking forward to that Junior Gold Arsenal review. Yeah, I am going to be actually recording it tomorrow. I'm hoping to have it up next week is my goal, either Sunday or Tuesday. We should have a Junior Gold Arsenal on all of my different platforms. On the YouTube video, I'm going to also offer some options of things to do in Minnesota. So you could go watch the #1 American League baseball team in the world, which is a weird phrase to say when they were supposed to be so bad. But the Twins, actually, it's very easy to get tickets, and they're actually fun to watch right now. I don't know if they'll be fun to watch in July, but I'll be giving a lot of options on things to do in Minnesota as well. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Insert name. Out of the Effect Tour, Venom Shock, or Theorem Hybrid, which one is the best benchmark? I would go Venom Shock. I think Venom Shock is the best true benchmark. Brian, my Vengeance was losing energy bowling at a pattern. The one Ovation be better. I would say if you have some surface on it, yes. If you don't have surface on it, no. Wasabi Gaming. I like the name. I have the Hyper Venom. I don't really like it. I've been with me for over 100 games. My house shot is high friction, high scoring. Not sure if Hysteria is a good replacement. If you want a ball that's identical, then I would go with a Venom Hysteria. It's going to be very close. If you need a ball truly for the dry, that's where you might have to go to a different brand. Motive doesn't really have a good dry lane option right now. The Max Thrill series is a little too strong for that. I would recommend like the Raws, the Hustles, or even a Tropical Surge. See, Giggity, how do I know if my ball, if a ball I'm considering is too close to other balls in my arsenal? So I have categorization guides of every bowling ball in the market right now on my website. So make sure to go check those out. That's going to be the best way to find it out. And then I also have a list of past bowling balls from the last 2 years in the archive of that. So make sure you go check that out if you have some older balls. Llama D, do you have a female bowler for the upcoming PWBA season? I need to look more in the PWBA season. Who's bowling this year? What the events are? I saw the schedule was just published, but I need to look a little bit closer to see what's all going on with the PWBA this year. I do want to go to an event or two. I'm really hoping I can go to an event or two. So PWBA or USBC, if you're watching, hit me up. But I would like to check out a couple of them. So nothing right now, but I do want to have a preview of the season sometime soon. I know that's starting up very, very soon, actually. Very, very soon. A Wood Bay, great stream. You're the GOAT, Zach. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Henry, what was discontinued? Hammer, Raw, Solid, and 21 other bowling balls. A lot of bowling balls were just discontinued. A lot of bowling balls are now gone. Dyron, will SBI drop something stronger than the Ion Max? Nope. Do not expect anything stronger than that ball. That will be the strongest ball you'll see Storm make for a while. Once that one goes away, they'll replace it with another ball that's very close to that. Kyle Chandler just got the Gremlin Tour X, Phase 2 Pearl, and Danger Zone. Used to compete, took 14 years off, just starting up again. Gremlin Tour X, Phase 2 Pearl. I like that. That's a good arsenal, man. I really like that. And welcome back to the game. Glad to have you back, man. James, my wife Kristen has 4 bowling balls. She has an Aspire spare ball, a Twist, a Rotogrip Wrecker, and the GB5. What is the next step up for her? So above the GB5, that's when you get to asymmetrical territory. So she doesn't have any asymmetrical bowling balls right now, but that would be the next option up. So there's a lot of different options. There's probably about 40 asymmetrical balls on the market right now, based on having a Twist, a Wrecker, and a Game Breaker. Something not too strong is probably a good play. I think an Equinox Solid or a Transformer, if you want to go the Storm route, could be a good play. Brunswick, let me look at the list quick. Brunswick has a lot, so I just always have to look back. I would honestly lean towards even a Spartan might not be bad, because then you can shine it a little bit and it'll be good. The One Ovation could be a great idea. Energize could be a good idea. And then if you go Motive, I'd recommend an Evoke Hysteria. Sipe, I've been stuck at a 190 average, want to end the season at 200 plus. So a big thing with that will be consistency, hitting the pocket a lot more, but then carrying those corner pins. A lot of that could be the equipment you're throwing. Make sure to know when to switch bowling balls so you don't have those really low 140, 150 games. You want your low games to be 170. That's a good way to be able to get to that 200 average, and then be able to get those big games when you do have a good look. So finding something good for the fresh so you can crush the game 1 before transition sets in is a good way to jump up to that 200 average. Pirates greater than Twins? That phrase has never been said in history. How many times you guys made playoffs, or even the second round of playoffs in a while? I can't say that. I'm a Twins fan. We've made 1 playoffs in like 10 years. But we won a game, and we didn't win a game for 20 years. It sucks to be a Twins fan. Pickles over on TikTok. What is the strongest medium and smooth ball right now? Right now, Vengeance and Stealth Mode, solid, are the 2 strongest right now. Peter Bishop, can a bowling ball be defective? I've had a Zero Mercy and an Ion Max, and they hook great. But when I got a 16-pound Jackalonix, it barely hooked in its pinup. Absolutely. It definitely can be. That happens. I don't know if you need a Zero Mercy, an Ion Max, and a Jackalonix, but yes, that does happen. It's very rare, less than 1% of bowling balls, but it has happened in the past. I would change the surface on it. Try to change the surface on it, see if that makes it a little better. Random Guy, Zero Mercy Solid, Hazmat Pearl, and Tropical Storm. Yeah, that could be a good option. I like that 1, 2, 3. Absolutely. Giggity, I've read that you should detox and extract balls at a pro shop every 60 to 80 games. Is that true? Also, thoughts on hand sanding and surfacing. I do not recommend detoxing until you absolutely need it. I would not do it every 60 to 80 games. I think only when you're really noticing the performance decline and you've tried changing the surface on it. So if your bowling ball performance is kind of going down the drain, step 1, resurface it. By hand is a good option. On a spinner, whichever one it may be, just resurface it. Try to bring it back to that factory. Sometimes the pores can get clogged, whatever it may be, so just a resurface can help out. If it's still pretty bad, you can try the detox as a last option, but remember, when you first detox, you're really putting your ball on a timer where you have probably 5 or 10 games, and then you're going to have to do it again. And again, and again, and again. Ron Hicklin had a good video come out showcasing that when you heat up a bowling ball, the plasticizers do come out of it. So if you have it on a little bit too high of heat, or you have it in a little too long, the plasticizers can actually melt and go away. And that's a really bad thing for a bowling ball. That means it's just not going to be that good anymore. So use that as a last option, not as a middle option. All right. We are going to do a last call for questions. We are at 1 hour and 55 minutes, so make sure to drop any other questions you guys have. I'll hit as many as I can in the next little bit. If you are new here, sorry, I have a weird thing on my computer now. I don't know what happened, but Google keeps giving me every notification on my Facebook and Instagram. So every time someone comments, it pops up with the comment. And a lot of the time on Facebook, it's sometimes kind of mean. That's a very common theme over there. So it always catches me off guard when I see it. But if you are new here, make sure to drop a subscription, a like, a follow, whatever it may be. Best way to help support the channels. Best way to help support a full-time content creator, because this is my only revenue stream. So subscriptions, anything free that you guys do is always very beneficial. Best way to help support the channel. But let's see. Justin, is there a noticeable difference between a 4 versus 4.5 inch pin to pap? There is. Not a crazy difference, but between 4 and 4.5, there is. Now, when you get down to like, is there a big difference between 4.25 and 4.5? Not noticeable to a lot of people, but 4 to 4.5, yes, there absolutely is. Mihail, getting back into bowling after 7 years now that my son is old enough. Picked up an Evoke Mayhem and an Ion Max Pearl and a Black Widow 2.0 hybrid. I would recommend a symmetrical ball. Some kind of symmetrical ball will be a good play. You have a lot of asymmetrical stuff, so symmetrical will be a step down for it, which will be very beneficial. A lot of different options that you can pick from. You have every single brand right now. Honestly, a good one to start with, Brunswick Alert is one that a lot of people like. Storm Bionic is one that a lot of people like, or the Motive Venom Shock. Any of those will be good options. Go green. Would the Dynasty, Mania, and Full Effect be a solid bag? I would avoid that bag. I don't think a Full Effect and a Black Widow Mania is a good idea. I don't think that's a good combo. Adrian, I only have a Storm High Road. Any recommendations? Two-handed, 180 average. A solid ball. Monsoon could be a really good play for you. Something like a Rotogrip Rockstar could be a really good play as well. Something a little stronger than that ball, but smoother is going to be a good option. Blue Hero was a good next ball. You have a Motive Max Thrill Hybrid right now. What are do you know, like, are you more speed dominant? Are you rev dominant? Does your ball overhook, underhook? What are you looking for? It kind of depends on what direction you want to go. Let's see. We have, hey, Balrog, what's going on? Do the Bionic and Venom Shock overlap? Not really. They're going to be pretty different, so I think you're okay. Joe, is there an effective way to extract oil from a ball that won't damage the plasticizers? I am not an expert in that field. I rely on the experts. Right now, I would say not really. There is no true, like, genie method to be able to extract oil. Now, if you get, I am of the assumption that if you have a couple hundred games in a ball and the performance is starting to die out, it's kind of like a pair of shoes where if you wear them too long, they start wearing out, and then it's time to get a new pair. Bowling is the same way. To be able to keep those scores higher after a couple hundred games, which is a lot of games on a bowling ball, probably best just to get a new one because detoxing it isn't going to bring it back to life. It's not going to make it just like it was day one. If it does, it'll do it for like a game, and then it's going to go back to where it was. So if you get to the point where you really, truly need to detox it, that is when a new ball is probably the best option, unfortunately, which sucks to say. I hate saying that, but a bowling ball doesn't really last forever just because it's a sponge. It's like a sponge you have at home where eventually that sponge cannot sponge anymore. So that is how it is. The best ways to limit or to delay that bad performance is to wipe off oil on a ball after every single shot. That is the best way to be able to get a ball to maximum performance. Clean it every once in a while, resurface it once in a while, but most importantly, wipe off the oil as much as possible. The more oil you can wipe off onto your chamois, the less is going into the bowling ball and the longer that bowling ball is going to last. For me personally, I've been wiping oil off of my ball after every shot for years. I have had very few bowling balls actually get to the point where they die out on me. It takes a very long time. Like my phase 2 that I have, it took 5 years for that ball to finally get to a point where it wouldn't absorb oil anymore because I would wipe oil off every single shot no matter what. So I highly, highly recommend wiping the oil off all the time. If you don't wipe oil off right now, please go and wipe oil off. Get a chamois. Get a chamois is the best way. Now, this is not supposed to be a shameless plug. I do have chamois. If you want to buy it, buy a ZVL one, dhlab3d.com. If you don't, that is A-okay. But I just recommend any kind of chamois to get the oil off. I think that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't do. Yeah, and clean your bowling balls as much as, after every session is a good option. After every couple of sessions is okay. Whatever it may be, just make sure to take care of your equipment. That's the best way to keep it going. I see a lot of bowling balls that come into the pro shop that the oil was never wiped off of it and it was never cleaned. And the thing just is a gross, sticky marble. And the guy only got like 100 games out of it because he just never kept it up. And then it's already dead. So make sure to keep doing that as much as you can. Let's see. Jay Wilson, I buy way too many balls to even worry about detoxing. Totally fair. Kelso, hit the like button. Absolutely. Ron Simmons over on Facebook. I have a Zero Mercy Solid, Phase 2 Solid, Zen 25, pin up and pin down. And you need a low oil ball. Typhoon, Bubblegum Vibe are going to be the two best options for you. One of those two. Kyle Chandler, would you consider a Transformer a good stronger ball to Gremlin? Absolutely, I would. I think that's a great one to put there. Slayer, I have an Evoke Hysteria, a Rockstar Amped, Typhoon, Hustle Glow, and a Storm Ice. Yeah, you have all Pearl bowling balls, so a solid would be really good. Something dull and slower would be a really good play. You have a little bit from every company. Well, actually, just Storm and Motive. Venom Shock is a good option, Brunswick Alert, or a Rotogrit Rockstar. G. Bryant, what does a Storm Revenant compare to? Absolutely nothing right now. That ball was bad for so many people. It was very weak and very smooth. It was kind of like, I think a High Road is probably the closest we have to it right now. But because somebody did well with it in League doesn't mean you should get it, by the way, either, Bryant. I would try to stay away from that mentality, because then you're going to buy a lot of bowling balls that don't fit your game, because he might be highly rev dominant, might be the why it worked. So be aware of that as well. Boxing Silver, I only have a Storm High Road. Yeah, what bowling balls do you have around it? Two-hander. Oh, I think we hit that already. Sorry, man. Mr. Phil just got a Zero Mercy solid. It's supposed to be 45 by 5 by 35. It measured 70 by 5 by 35. Roll like, what do you think this layout is going to be good for? I mean, that layout just pushes the reaction a little further down lane. That's all it does. Not a big deal. I don't think you notice a crazy difference between 25 degrees, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. Let's see. Man, so many comments. Preston Bone is now commenting all the time. Peter Bishop, I got a Jackal on. Oh, yeah, we hit that one. I got the Jackal Onyx when my Ion Max died, but since it wasn't hooking, I picked up a Zero Mercy. Plus, I do bowl tournaments, so I don't mind having multiple options. All right, fair enough. I bowled my first 300 with the Zero Mercy on Monday. That's awesome. Good. Congrats, man. Boxing Silver, we hit. Mike, clean your bowling balls. Yep. Absolutely. Go green. What's a good ball to put with my Dynasty and Mania? Symmetrical ball be best. I would say a Hammerhead, but that ball is discontinued. You can still find it for pretty cheap, so it might not be a bad idea. Something like that. Maya, can we get an HBO Born to Bold review? Think about doing one myself. I love pods and reviews. Yes, I am planning on doing a full review of the entire series. I was doing recaps every day of every episode. There are 5 episodes in total. Now the series is done, I do have it on my list to make like a true full recap of the Born to Bowl series, both for bowlers and for non-bowlers. Just a review, a spoiler-free review of if it was good, if it was bad, whatever it may be. Personally, I really liked it. I think it was one of the best things we've had for bowling in a very long time to get it out to the public. So I really am excited to see that series fully complete. And I love seeing it on the top 10 series on HBO. I think that's been really cool. All right. Let's see. GeForce. That is a very big arsenal. Let's see. My arsenal is Zero Mercy solid, Hammer effect, full effect, effect tour, and axe and thrill. Nice. There we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. Making flippy floppies. Thank you for the follow. I love that name so much. That's awesome. Oh, it's great. Giggity, can ball performance deteriorate from resurfacing too often? No, you can resurface a ball as many times as you want. Never worry about that. That's a weird myth or a rumor that's been going around in the bowling world that you can only resurface a ball a couple of times. No, you can resurface it as much as you want. You can only bring it down to 180 grit a handful of times before the logos disappear, but you can resurface it as many times as you want. While the serial number and logo are still there, you're good to go. Would a Mayhem be a good choice if you like your Hysteria? I think so. It's a good ball up from it. Let's see. Corky, one of my coworkers has been asking me about that series, and I explained why a pro not knowing his PAP was so bad. Dude, it's terrible. Bowling pro, like, it's in every sport. The professional, like, a lot of professionals are so naturally gifted, they don't need to care about the technicalities. Pete Weber is the best option. He knows nothing about bowling balls. That man knows nothing about actual, like, what bowling balls do against each other. His idea is, I know where I need to find where a ball hooks, and then I throw it at that all week long, and that's what I do. And when he got good enough, he can have ball reps, point him in the right direction, throw this ball. He knows, like, I need something shiny or I need something duller, but he's not going to know the difference between, a Cove and an Ember very much, or a difference between what is a phase 2 Pearl versus an Ember, like things like that. So there's so many pros in many sports who know nothing on the technical side, but are so naturally gifted, they don't have to care. It's crazy. It's so wild. Like a pro not knowing his PAP is like, oh man, what would be a good option? Is like a baseball pitcher, like not knowing a pitch. Like he just throws the pitch. What kind of pitch is it? I don't know. It works. Like that. It's kind of like that to a certain degree. It's not a great comparison, but kind of in that realm. Justin, Transformer, that ball feels like it fell out of the zeitgeist pretty quick to me. Yeah, they had so many balls take the place of it. It's a good ball. People really like it. But yeah, they just had so many other actual good bowling balls come out that you don't see the Transformer much anymore. Trash Panda, what's going on? Best ball for a house shot in general? Couple of options. I would go Energize, Phase 2 Pearl, Black Venom. Some of the best ones from each company. All right, we'll hit one or two more questions and we'll call it a day. Kyle Chandler, how many 300s do I have? It's like somewhere between 5 and 10, somewhere around there. A lot of mine are unsanctioned, which is fun. I bowl a lot of unsanctioned leagues. Like my main league I bowled this year was unsanctioned, and then I was a half-timer in our actual sanctioned league. So I had an 800 and a 300 in the unsanctioned, and I had none in the sanctioned, which is kind of funny. Hybrid ASIMs are the only ones I drill pinned down. Storm is Reactus Scuff, and others are creating cream cleaners marketed as able to extract oil. You can try them, absolutely, 100%. But I don't know how true they're going to be. I don't know how much R&D went into them. It's always hard when like there's the extreme claims of like, I know I did that with CTDs back to life, and I need to buy some to be able to test if it actually works. So I've heard mixed reviews of it from people that aren't working at CTD. So I want to try it out a little bit. But things like that, it's fun to try to see if it works, but don't believe it 100% until you see it in a lot of cases. And I saw Kurt, heat on a bowling ball, yay or nay. I'd recommend against it. I'd recommend against heat on a bowling ball, unless you absolutely have to. Yeah, like a marathon runner not knowing his shoe size. Exactly. That's actually really accurate. That's actually pretty accurate. All right. We are going to be calling it on that one. I know every time that I say last call for questions, we get absolutely peppered with questions. But we will be having many more live streams. Remember, we are live every Monday at 2 p.m. Central Time and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. So make sure to tune in. We have a lot of really cool videos coming soon. We have physical game tips coming on Friday on YouTube. Friday or Sunday, I haven't decided yet. But we are going to have a video coming out. Some of the best physical game tips that you can use to improve your actual physical game in the sport of bowling, improve your form. So we're going away from equipment, talking about coaching a little bit. We're going to get into that. And then we are going to also have a lot of videos coming out about the new Brunswick balls. We have new Storm balls that are being announced or that were released or announced. So we're going to have videos on that. We have some physical game tips going on the short form platforms. We have so much stuff. Huge thank you to all of our sponsors who've been showing up here. I'm going to miss a lot of them, but huge thank you to all of those guys. Make sure to use code ZVL or ZVL Bowling for percentages off on every website. EFX and Spareware, you get 10% off. G Fuel for ZVL Bowling, you get 30% off. Very crazy deals going on over there. I got to pick up some G Fuel tonight. I'm going to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to go get some food. Andy, what are you doing? Hello, love what you are doing. Thanks, man. That's very nice of you. Weirdly nice. But thank you guys so much for hopping in. I really do appreciate it. And TikTok, we're going to say goodbye to you first. TikTok, thank you so much. Make sure to follow on the way out the door. But I will see you all on the next one. And then we are left with the short form or the long form platforms. Huge thank you to all of you guys. I completed a challenge on TikTok. I don't understand TikTok live streams at all in the slightest. I have no idea how they operate. But yeah, make sure to go grab a ZVL Bowling chamois if you have not. It's about $25 after shipping. Fantastic chamois. They're double layered leather. Really good to be able to clean off your bowling balls after every single shot. But we are going to be calling it on that tonight. Huge thank you to all of you guys for hopping in tonight. Really do appreciate it. We have a lot of videos coming live for the next couple of days. Remember, if you want to hear from me every single day, if you ever want that, my Discord is always open. I'm there all the time talking to everybody out there. We have over 1,000 members. You can choose my league balls for the next couple of weeks out there if you join. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all on the next one.